You know what?
Realistic. No.
It is.
I feel like everybody could be a senator or a congressman at any point.
You took my idea.
To be a senator?
No.
Any point?
Did we steal your future? Did we steal your future like Greta Thunberg? Remember Greta Thunberg, that girl from the she was like from Sweden or something. So her and her parents, yes, her and her parents like rolled across the ocean on a yacht, and then she basically lectured the whole like world leaders about climate change.
Why do you disparage people?
No, I'm not. But here's the funny thing.
You shit on people.
Well, I think
Teddy finds their weak points.
She did something amazing, and she's really smart. Now she thinks. No, I'm just kidding. Teddy.
No, what I'm saying was so. With the argument she made is a good point, but the counter argument is that she said basically her speech was they stole my future, but it's hard to believe someone's future was stolen when you roll up in a yacht. That's all I'm saying. It's like being lectured by somebody in a ballroom gown, right? It's kind of the same concept. It's like let them eat cake. So you can't really lecture me when you're like part of the 1%ers. Well, and basically you just burn. How much fuel did you burn in that yacht going from point A to point B to lecture us about how we're using our carbon footprints too big? All right, there.
It's always the same thing.
Can I talk with an accent for this show?
An accent?
Yeah.
Oh,
can I do an accent? All
absolutely. Right. But it has to be the entire show has to be an accent.
All right, I'm ready.
Are you possessed?
Okay.
No, are you going to start talking backwards? Are you going to start talking backwards?
You guys heard about Robert De Niro's grandson, right?
I'm going to bring that up. I was going to bring that up right now.
Oh, Ted's got an agenda today.
Go ahead.
So
his future was stolen from him because he had too much money.
Yeah. So basically, this 19-year-old kid. Feel bad for the kid. He's found dead in a luxury apartment building. I guess so. Robert De Niro's daughter. It's like one of his 7 children, but I guess it's the oldest daughter. She's like 51. Yeah. So I did a little research, and of course they didn't know what happened to him. They didn't know what happened, and then they just find out fentanyl, whatever. So I'm just saying, okay, look, you're 19 years old. Here's a PSA.
Yeah, but you're 19 years old and you're filthy rich.
You're filthy rich. I'm like, and he bought these random pills from some dude off the street that apparently relates with fentanyl.
Where else do you get fentanyl?
Yeah.
If you're not buying it off a random dude on the street, I mean, unless you're getting it from, I don't know, your brother.
Okay, but here's the thing. You got all the money in the world. Wouldn't you just go to
why did he have all the money in the world?
Well, I mean, see, Robert De Niro's grandkids. So let's just assume his daughter.
Yeah, I think they're all super.
Let's just he's
idiotic.
So he gives them all the money.
Well, let's assume he's well. So. Let's assume he's just well to do.
Check your mic, man. You're buzzing.
I don't know what's going on.
Just fiddle with it. Much better. Much better. Okay.
Let's assume he's well to do. Let's say he's filthy rich, but let's just say he's better off than most of us. Okay. So he wakes up in the morning and he's like, I got to escape reality today. You can't just have like a fifth of Jack Daniels and take like an edible.
He's 19.
You can't take a fifth of Jack Daniels and have an edible. You got to go to.
That's not cool, Ted. That's cool. That's cool if you're like in Van Halen. But yeah, if you're 19, you just start slamming fentanyl.
So think about it. Like, so some random dude on the street is going to sell me pills that I don't know what's in them. I'm like, I'm going to buy these pills, and this is a good idea.
How do they know he got them from a random dude? He's dead.
Yeah, I'm just saying you buy pills, like you're buying loose pills, so they look like bear aspirin, whatever. Like who would take a pill? I mean,
that you got from a random guy.
Do you talk to your kids about like that kind of stuff?
Well, not anymore. I don't have to.
I did.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I have a 17-year-old, 19-year-old. I always tell them this. I'm like, just don't take any pills.
Yeah.
Don't do this. Don't do
that.
Don't.
Like, what are you, fucking Judy Garland from Wizard of Oz? I think she overdosed, or Elvis. She overdosed on prescription pills. That's not like the 1970s.
I mean, it's easy to say all that, right? Don't do that. Like I could stand in front of. I mean, I don't know how many kids I've stood in front of. And, hey, guys, don't do drugs. And the first thing they do is, hey, you know what I'm going to do after school? I'm going to do some drugs. Yeah.
I told you this story before. So when I was like about 12 or 13, my mom took me to like Area 5 police headquarters in Chicago.
Yes, we've all heard. Everyone is doing this.
For a drug symposium. And I thought it was just, so basically they had all the drugs from the 1980s laid out, like, whatever.
So 2, 7, 9, and 50.
Reds, blues.
What?
Quaaludes. Whatever it's called, So, and then it gets, but it got worse. So they take us into a room and they show us, like, you ever see Faces of Death where they show like real murder scenes? Yeah, they take us in and showing like people getting like beaten to death in drug deals gone bad. Some guy who took like PCP thought he was Jesus, so he died with he had to break his arms down to get him in the coffin. I'm like, I'm seeing this shit when I'm 13. I'm like, well, it's not as bad as I spit on your grave, but it was right up there.
Wow, Ted. No, it
all
was
verbatim.
Ted, it all. Yeah, I know, Ted. But it all goes to explain you everything that you tell us, every story you tell us 9 times.
I spit on your grave.
Yeah. Every story you tell us, it just goes to explain you so perfectly. It's like people
Mom, I don't want to do drugs. Okay,
no,
it's okay.
Listen, people ask this like, oh, you guys did a live show. When you guys going to do video and stuff? We got to see Ted. They're desperate. They have so many connotations of what you look like.
Here's the funny,
what you are.
Here's the funny thing: when Mom took me to see that symposium, I never talked about drugs. I wasn't thinking about drugs. I couldn't even find my own ass at that point. I mean,
there wasn't just a random guy.
I wasn't even
on
born.
The street.
I wasn't even born until I was 35. I didn't know anything about anything. I mean, the last thing I was thinking about taking drugs and alcohol. I didn't know anything. So like taking me to that was
look at you now.
Exactly.
Look at me now, Mom. I do it all.
I'm on top of the food chain.
I found my right buttock just 5 years ago. So.
Yeah. No, it's that is weird. But I mean,
yeah.
I mean, when people you have unlimited amounts of money at that age, it's probably got to be very, very difficult. I mean,
no, it's actually pretty easy. I mean, you got unlimited money, you could do whatever you want. So why would you make
yourself into so many bad habits, dude?
Why would you just do that? I mean, you know who does that? People who don't have any money. I mean, you don't have any money, so here's some dude selling like 3 random pills on the street for like $25. That's what a poor person does. I'm just saying, when you're rich, wouldn't you just go to like someone who's got the highest quality cocaine or heroin or whatever's out there, or like a known quantity where it's not laced with
fentanyl's fentanyl.
Wait, are we helping?
It's not laced with like
rat
poison.
Is this a PSA to help you buy better drugs?
No. Well, I mean, maybe it should be. They'd still be alive.
No,
so.
it's really weird. Okay, so we need some updates. Okay. Mark, you wanted some updates on the woman from Utah who allegedly absolutely poisoned her husband?
Yes, and I just saw it on the news for the first time, so I got to see her face.
She just sued. She just sued her husband's estate.
Yeah.
His sister sued that woman, his wife.
Oh, I thought the wife, the wife who's the accused murderer, sued the husband's estate.
Wait, I think she is too. I think she's suing.
No, she's suing the estate. She is suing the estate of the dead husband.
That's the headline I saw.
It's a lot of chutzpah. I mean, she's not.
Okay,
she's not,
what I saw was the sister of the guy who died.
Yeah,
she's suing the wife because I guess the wife just systematically, kind of, pretty much planned this out, emptied out all the bank accounts.
Yeah.
Right.
Took,
but then the wife is but the wife is suing his estate to claim, to basically, to get the money. So she's got a lot of chutzpah.
What was she going to spend it on? What in prison is that expensive?
So update me. What happened to her?
She's innocent until proven guilty, even though we know she's guilty.
Oh no! The update is the guy's sister is suing.
Okay.
But she's suing too. So just FYI.
So she's still going to court for murder.
Yes, she's going to be a convicted murderer. Right. If you're on the jury, right? And she's like, oh, I want this money. And it's like, okay, just out of curiosity, why do you have this money and he doesn't? Oh, I murdered him. Okay, I'm going to have to go the no.
Well, he changed her. He wrote her out as the beneficiary before before he's dead
because she was doing all sorts of crazy shit.
No, because she tried to poison him twice, and God knows why he stayed with her, knowing that information. So basically, he already knew that she was trying to kill him.
Oh, his sister said because of the kids.
Oh, well, you can't like talk to the kids on Zoom or some shit like that.
She would have had a
Father of the Year, everybody. Father of the Year, right
her
there.
Book, her
Mikey,
book
I want to
be
better
if
Mikey.
She wrote about what she did.
The kids' book about how to murder your husband.
Instead of doing that book, she should have wrote a nonfiction about what she did.
But she can't. Yeah, I guess. But she can't make any money off of that.
But
I mean, we all know it. Is that really a good book? I feel like that's on TV. I feel like what she did was pretty much every terrible movie I've ever watched. Yeah, every Lifetime movie. Yeah, except the guy didn't actually do anything. They'd have to spice it up where he's like beating her or something, and then it's okay that she killed him, not just that she's a random like psychotic murderer. Yeah, it just seems weird, right?
Yeah. So
all right, more plane problems.
Okay.
A guy had another panic attack on a plane last week. Yeah, just last week he had another panic attack. Now this time, he did not need sex to quash his panic attack. Yeah. Basically, he had a panic attack and then kicked the living shit or tried to kick the living shit out of everyone on the plane all at once.
Nice.
While it was in the air?
While it was in the air.
Nice.
Yep.
I'm assuming he got tackled by various people in the process.
I have no idea. He fought passengers, airline employees, and he was just trying to get his work out.
You might as well go all the way because you know what? When you land that plane, he's fucked, right? So he's going to be on the no-fly list. He's going to be arrested. So you might as well get your money's worth.
That's
try to beat up as many people as possible.
Yeah. So part of his panic attack might have been the fact that he snuck some drugs on the plane. And went into the bathroom and took the drugs, and he actually came out of the bathroom
and he was
foaming at the mouth.
He was Superman.
And he was just absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Now, I guess they did ask him if he thought later if sex would have been a better thing, if that would have helped him, and he said yes.
So that's on the protocol list for panic attacks now in airlines.
Yeah. So I think we've actually
will sex help?
Yeah, we've actually come up with kind of a treatment for panic attacks. So this could be very exciting, right? I mean, this could be a new thing for people who have panic attacks. You can go to your doctor, and hopefully he or she is hot, and just have some sex.
Where do you think he hid the drugs to get on the plane? Because they have all those drug-sniffing dogs at the TSA.
So you think butt drugs?
He had a balloon up his butt, or he swallowed a
he had to have had him like.
Can I tell you what my buddy did when he went to Mexico? I'm not going to use any names because he's a friend of the show, but he brought edible gummies.
Drugs to Mexico,
right? No, listen to me. This is a good story. So he has edible gummies. Okay, and he mixed them with vitamin gummies.
Yeah.
So he went out and bought vitamin gummies that looked like his
that seems plausible.
edible gummies.
Yeah,
and did that right. So he did it, and his wife did it. Okay, his wife got.
This must be for carry-on, right? It must be. Yeah. So why don't you?
No. I think this was just in the check bags.
Oh, really? They still got
he got away with it. Fine. His wife, who's on a later plane, she had it in there, and they did a random check, and they found it. Mm-hmm. And so this is so funny. So the Mexican police at the airport, they shook her down for money. So they started with, you ready for this? To let her go, $1,000.
Oh, were they coming back or going to Mexico?
Going to Mexico. So they had their.
So when they landed,
they had some drugs. Yeah. So she got the random spot check in Mexico. Right. They shook her down. First thing they said is $1,000. She's like, I don't have $1,000. They immediately went to $500.
Yeah.
Okay. And she goes, I don't have that. And they finally got down to what do you have in your pocket? And I guess she ended up giving him like $140.
Yeah, which is still a lot of money out there.
Then, did
she get to keep the drugs?
Yeah, they didn't even give a shit.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Kept the drugs. She just took her stuff and go out. And I mean, at any point you could be shaken down for anything, right? I mean,
sure.
What if they said anything? If you didn't even have drugs,
they could just make it up. They don't have to plant the drugs on you. They could just say, "Hey, we found this." And
no, how about? Do you want to go on your vacation? Yes, I need $500.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then just get it down to let's see, I got $19 and I got this new shoelace. This is gonna damn it! Now I'm not gonna have good shoes in Mexico. But yeah, she got shook down for that.
Wow,
I'm not gonna have nice shoes in Mexico.
She kept the gummies though, so good for her.
Once again, who wears shoes in Mexico?
Who brings drugs to Mexico?
Who brings shoes to Mexico?
Well, Ted, you don't want to buy. You just said you don't want to buy random drugs off the street from some asshole.
No, I know that, but don't you have open bar?
Ted's got a guy in Mexico.
When you go to the all-inclusive resort, isn't like
they don't include drugs. Ted.
Isn't the ethanol?
Where are you from?
Isn't the ethanol glycine mixed liquor good enough?
Did you know the first time I went to Mexico, we stayed at an all-inclusive resort like you're talking about, and most of them are right. And
are they any good? I've never been to one of those. Is it really that good?
It was okay. The one we went to was okay.
It's okay.
Overrated. All inclusive is overrated.
We got picked. We had to go last minute because our plans got changed. But anyway, we were going to Belize, and then a hurricane came, so we had to make arrangements to go somewhere else. I told the story to Janice when he was on the show, Mark Janice. From Janice Travel. Yes. But so when we were there, I did not know that top shelf liquor was below.
So it's bottom shelf liquor in Mexico?
Well, no, it's like all inclusive they included top shelf liquor.
Okay.
Jack Daniels, Tanqueray, Absolute, but they don't put it out on the shelf. On the shelf is all like
the
bar
crappy liquor.
Shit.
Yeah.
So when you go up there and you say gin and tonic, that's what they give you. And you're not going to say Tanqueray and tonic because you don't see it there. And then I saw one guy come up and go Tanqueray and tonic. He goes underneath the bar and pours him a Tanqueray.
So they probably do that on purpose. You have to ask for it.
If you just say gin and tonic, you're drinking Mexican gin, which I was drinking for the first day. So luckily I found it out right away.
Gin is not good.
Well, I love gin. I'm a big gin drinker.
I don't understand how.
I don't know how you don't.
I mean, it's like okay, but it's not my first. It's not my first choice.
Gin and tequila are my two liquors.
Actually, Bombay and Squirt probably wouldn't be that bad. You probably wouldn't. It would just
Bombay gin
and Squirt. Yeah, you'd probably Irish it up pretty good. So
what does that Irish it up mean?
It just means you wouldn't taste the gin.
Oh yeah, listen, I would drink gin if I couldn't taste the gin.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love gin, man. I drink gin straight up. I drink gin martinis.
Wow.
That's
what do you like, Sean Connery or something?
I just like it. What do you
shake it, not stirred? That's right,
you're doing the accents now.
like Frank Sinatra or the Rat Pack from like
the
1950s.
I can hear it.
It's nothing I'm doing. Though.
Do you have a Rob Roy too?
Everything you're doing.
Do you have a Rob Roy in an old fashioned?
I don't like. No, I'm not a big whiskey guy. I like scotch.
So when you go to the speakeasy, when you go to the speakeasy, do you have to like knock 3 times and you know?
Like, what's the password?
Oh no, Ted.
Yeah.
And like this.
Yeah. I'm going to burn this place down. Okay, there you go. Good. Yeah. That's. You think there's still clubs like? There's no clubs like that.
There are. I'm sure there's like some gimmick club out there where you have to.
There is
knock on
the magician.
Oh, we were talking about that.
Yeah. It's in Andersonville.
Oh, like a secret.
Yeah, you go in the door when you walk in the front entrance. It looks like a laundromat, and then they open.
Oh yeah, you said that.
They open a washing machine or something.
Do you have to be a member though?
No.
You just have to know it's there, or you would never know it's there.
Well, everybody knows it's there now, but it's just like
I don't know it's there.
It's a gimmick.
I wouldn't know it's there.
Yeah, I don't listen to what you say. No. Yeah. No, we should go there. We should sneak into that.
I told you I know somebody that works there. He's a magician.
Yeah.
And he's a hypnotist too. And I told him
we got to get
a show.
hypnotist.
Yeah, I said let's do that. I said go ahead and try to hypnotize me. It's impossible.
Who's the most?
I have to give you his information and set it up and have him on the show.
Yeah, that's
and
fine.
He will well, it's not. If you say it's impossible to be hypnotized, that means you're a moron.
Who's the most suggestible person?
Your face.
Who's the most suggestible person on this show?
Yeah, you would be the easiest. Honestly,
I probably would be.
Yeah. You would be the easiest.
Honest to God, do you know
Ted
that
would probably be the hardest to
So do you know that there's
magicianize because he's
you know there's like on the chart of intelligence, you know, you got like
oh my God. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. The most easily hypnotized are notoriously the most intelligent.
No. That's not where I'm going. But thank you. No, I was gonna say that literally like the word moron. Moron. If you're a moron, if you're categorized as a moron, you can't be hypnotized. You can't hypnotize a moron.
What about what about a Moran?
No, I mean
hypnotism is real.
No, I believe it. I just believe that if somebody was trying to hypnotize Ted, he'd ask so many questions.
It's a state of mind. It's not like
are we golfing tomorrow? I'd be like, Ted, pay attention to the hypnotist. Hey, who are you? Like, Ted, that's the hypnotist. Hey, man, is he golfing with us tomorrow?
So the movie, Stephen King's movie, The Stand, is kind of like that same premise. So
so he's hypnotized 24/7.
So the devil can read everybody's mind except Rob Lowe, who plays the deaf mute idiot.
He's not the deaf mute idiot.
Whoever the deaf mute idiot is, the
guy from Coach.
The devil can't. The devil can't read his mind because he's a moron.
That's it. No, I swear to God, that is.
He's an imbecile, so he saves the world. The imbecile.
No, Rob Lowe is the.
He's the imbecile. Rob Lowe's the imbecile.
No, I think Rob Lowe is deaf.
Yeah, but
no. I'm sorry. He's deaf. He's the mute.
He's the imbecile. Like whatever. Like the devil cannot read his mind, so he can read everybody's mind except his mind.
Yeah. That's right. You know what? You actually don't need Rob Lowe to talk. Just look at him.
He's a good
look at that bastard. He's a good, beautiful.
I always get him and Rick Springfield confused. I mean, they're kind of both good looking guys.
Oh my God.
I mean, like just mildly, not. Confused.
That's like getting a red car and a green car confused.
No, but they're both like they aged.
One is green.
They aged very well.
Rick Springfield?
Yeah, Rick Springfield. He's still touring. I think he's like 65. Jesse's Girl. That came out in like 1980.
Actually, Rick Springfield's over 70.
Wow.
Yeah. And he does not. There's no way he looks.
I mean, I'm not as good, but I'm saying, but on the scale of just like a man aging, he looks pretty good.
Why are you doing that with your hands? Thank God we don't have video. You make it so weird, like you're caressing. Oh,
it's intimidating to sit next to him.
That's why you guys are over there and I'm over here, man.
You're really far away from us.
Yeah, that's why we were headphones. So I don't have to. So I can physically be in another room.
It's almost like you're like the emperor. You're like away from us. You should just be on an elevated. You just got to raise your seat about 3 feet off the ground.
Don't think Teddy, I was going to get a lectern.
Put a crown.
A big stool.
Hey, you know what you do before the show starts? You should be facing away from us, and as the show starts, then you turn toward us.
He needs one of those. What are they called? Like the staff, or what is it called? That
the scepter. The scepter. Yeah.
He needs a scepter
and a chalice.
Like a really long scepter, so you could reach across.
Oh, and just like crack you guys in the head.
Hey, you know what else you need? A food taster. Oh yeah, because here's a sandwich.
Why? I'm not married in Utah, Ted. Not married in Utah at all. So yeah, no worries about that. All right,
so what did you guys eat on 4th of July before we go somewhere?
Eat
else with this? What did you eat? Because you're a vegetarian. So for the people all around the world,
like the millions of hot dogs that people eat in America,
right? So I was going to bring up, so you're a vegetarian. So what do you eat over the holiday?
I think we had like tacos and stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we made like fish tacos and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, Ted?
I probably had some like grilled chicken salad. I eat the same thing all the time. Shrimp tacos. I don't know. So nothing. No hot dogs or hamburgers. Yeah. So.
Ted doesn't eat.
Yeah. I probably drank my lunch at some point.
Yeah, that's the easiest way to do it. All right, so let me get this thing started so we can get to Ted's tip. Okay. Hey, everybody. My name is Matt, and this is the Real 3 Idiots podcast, show number 77. Does that blow your mind?
It's crazy.
Yeah, that's all you. That is all you.
I know. I'm not doing anything. It's not.
Oh, you just made love to your microphone. All right. If that doesn't freak you out, if show 77 doesn't freak you out, nothing will freak you out. I'm telling you. All right. With me as always is my good friend Teddy Poison.
Yeah. Happy Hump Day.
That works, doesn't it?
Happy Hump Day. I don't like that nickname, by the way.
Teddy Poison
doesn't make any sense, but
you probably know you. If we put you in a room, like, you saw that hot dog eating contest thing?
Yeah, yes. Nathan's hot dog.
One of the most disgusting things I've ever seen.
Yeah.
That's
we watch it every year. Every year we watch it.
I just saw a brief glance of it. Yeah,
it's so physically grotesque.
Yeah. Joey Chestnut, man, wins it every year.
He looks like he's going to puke and then he takes two. So this is the weird
part.
How
they eat it.
He takes 2 hot dogs. Yeah. He grabs them by the end and literally shoves them down his mouth.
So what did he eat? Like 76 hot dogs in a minute?
62, I think, this year.
In a minute?
No,
not
it's like 3 minutes or 5 minutes or something.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's so gross.
That's not all he does, though. You ever see all of his other records?
Yeah, well, there's a professional eating league.
Like 38 Big Macs in a minute.
Yeah, that's insane. I mean, he's not a big...
Yes, I swear to God.
You couldn't even eat 38 Big Mac buns in a minute.
He's not a big guy. He's like an average-sized guy. So, I mean, he's obviously a professional leader.
He ate the Taco Bell tacos, like a crazy number of those, like in a minute.
How is he not dead?
Does he throw them up, though? I mean, so is it like the Romans?
You got to keep it down for a certain amount of time.
But can you eventually like puke it up? I mean, so you keep it down? Like, remember the Romans? They would have the Roman like not the orgy, like the food orgy, but then they would go to like a special bathhouse to like basically make themselves gagging and puke up everything that they ate.
Well, dude, if he doesn't puke it up, could you imagine? He would have to spend at least 3 hours
on the
shitter,
the cholesterol.
You can't digest
the fat.
You're right. You cannot.
That would be so gross, dude.
Yeah, he's got to puke it up. Yeah,
so. Yeah, I hope so. And the man who has written every song Beyonce has ever performed, Mark.
Wow. Yeah, I can't name one of them.
What?
I don't know Beyonce song. I love her.
Put a ring on it.
Man. Yeah,
put a ring.
Oh, that's one. Yeah.
Yeah, remember that?
One of her songs. She was with a group before that.
Yeah,
Destiny's Child.
Yeah.
No, she wasn't.
Destiny's Child.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All the women independent, throw your hands up in there.
Keep going.
Yeah, there were
you wrote it, motherfucker. All right. Ted, are you ready for your tip?
Oh, by the way, thank you for starting the show.
You're welcome. Yeah, and actually starting the show?
It's been started.
Yeah. Same thing.
I'm ready.
Every time. You are ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. So I have a fantastic, oh my God, this is really cool. These guys came to me, and they actually wanted to be on a couple weeks ago, but we finally got it on. And it's the perfect timing. Okay, perfect timing. It's the time of year again in America. That's right, 4th of July just happened. And at Armando's Fingers and Toes, we have just what you need for the 5th of July after you get a little too into the fireworks celebration and you blow something off that you really want back. At Armando's Fingers and Toes, we have the most lifelike replacement fingers and toes on the market. We have everything you need to look like you weren't a drunken idiot who decided to have a Roman candle fight with your brother-in-law, or when you decide to make yourself into a human sparkler. And this year, Armando's Fingers and Toes is proud to announce their Arms and Legs line. When you go way over the line, we have what it takes to help you walk back into work and proudly say, yeah, I'm stupid, but I look like I'm not. Armando's Fingers and Toes and Arms and Legs. We replace what you are too dumb to take care of.
Yeah, how many people ended up in the ER this year? I actually read something like in Michigan, like 9 people got injured at some fireworks show, maybe through no fault of their. But every year, how many people go to the ER? I wonder on a yearly basis over that July 4th weekend, nationwide, due to firework related incidents.
If you would have seen what I saw yesterday when I got home, there's a kind of a parking lot that's not right across the street from my house, but. I look out my front window, I look to my left, you can see the parking lot. There was a group of about 30 people, a bunch of them sitting down. They were doing a big fireworks show in the parking lot. First time they've ever done that in 20 years I've lived there. Somebody's done it. These guys set up this huge fountain.
Oh, yeah.
That they lit it up, and then they were walking through it.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not making this up. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what the hell are they doing? And then one guy was walking around with a baby Bjorn on.
What? Ted?
What?
Can you?
What is that?
I have no idea. What are you talking about?
Bjorn? Is that like a fur?
Baby Bjorn is one of those like front wearing packs that the baby sits in.
They had a baby in there?
This guy was walking around with a baby in it. Not through the sprinkler thing. I mean, not through the fire thing. He was walking around while they were shooting off all the fireworks within an arm's length sometimes when they were lighting it.
Dude, a baby's ears are so
Dude,
delicate.
I don't know if the baby had something on. I could not see that, but I know he had a baby.
So
it was bizarre. I don't know what the hell was going on. I had to go down in the basement with. I couldn't watch it anymore.
Wow, are people stupid? Well, here I'll give you a couple of. Here's a couple of stories. Are you ready? There's a guy in Cary, just outside of Chicago, on July 3rd. His Roman candle wasn't going off, so he wanted to make sure that everything inside of it was okay. Looked inside, went off, blew his brains out, dead. Okay. Wow. Another guy decided he was going to be cool, and he put something, I think it was a Roman candle, on his head so that he could shoot it off his head. It exploded down, caved in his skull, dead. Yeah.
See, man.
I've blown up. I think I've blown up a Roman candle like a long time ago, years ago. But yeah, it's basically like dynamite. It's like what M80s, M100s.
You light it and run away.
Quarter sticks. Yeah, you don't go anywhere near it.
No, we used to hold Roman candles in our hand when we were kids. We used to shoot them off.
The only thing I ever held in my hand was
Roman candles are to be held in your hand.
Was a bottle rocket with the actual bottle, like the little skinny bottle rocket. But those are because even if it blew up, chances
I don't
are,
think it's going to do anything.
But not a Roman candle.
Yeah.
No.
Somebody had a big fire. This was yesterday. Somebody had big fireworks. And there's a woman right there. The whole thing just exploded. I guess it was just some giant tube thing that they used, at a show
to put mortars in.
Yeah, at a show though. It's not something like a person buys. It's something like a company buys to do it for like a town.
To launch.
I guess this thing blew up. It killed this chick immediately, and then 9 other people are in the hospital.
That's probably the one in Michigan I was thinking about. So I didn't read the details.
Is that nuts?
Yeah.
These people are just so crazy for one day. For one day, you risk it.
I hate fireworks so
And Teddy,
much.
when we talk about this,
so
Teddy said, "Who's that?" There's a football player.
Oh, Jason Pierre-Paul from the Giants.
Yeah, blew off 2 of his fingers.
Just like a few years ago. Yeah. So.
Yeah, blew off 2 of his fingers. You might need those to tackle people.
Yeah,
you might need them for sure because he sucks now. But
definitely for call signaling.
Yeah. Is that insane?
Yeah.
That is absolutely insane.
Yeah, leave it to professionals. The only time fireworks is good, you go to like a park or a beach. It's something in the distance, and they're firing up a bar.
Viewing,
you watch it. Yeah.
I love it. But,
yeah.
But as far as like the common person buying them and blowing them off,
I can see the sparklers. The sparkler stuff's pretty harmless, but with stuff that explodes, then cause like major damage, Roman candles, M80s, M100s. It's just I know it makes a loud noise and everyone gets excited, but we probably don't want to do that.
I don't get the loud noises.
I hate it.
The ones that blow up and make colors and stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool.
That's
cool.
That's cool.
The noise. Cool.
But I don't understand like the giant one that just explode.
Yeah.
What is the excitement to that?
Yeah. It's like having here's a brick of C4. Let's just blow it up.
Yeah. I just don't get that. Yeah. Okay, Mark, you have a song?
I don't know. Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I do.
Hit us with the tunes.
Crush that tip. Don't just let it slip. Stay off the crack. There's no looking back when a question comes along. You must tip it before your thoughts go along. You must tip it when something's going wrong. You must tip it. Now tip it into shape. Wrap it up. Get it straight. Go for it. Move ahead. Try not to wreck it. It's not too late to tip it. Teddy, tip it good.
Wasn't that their one hit, Devo? That was their one hit.
No,
right?
they had a lot of. They had more than a couple.
They did. Yeah.
They have actually good stuff.
I just don't remember anything. I don't remember anything besides
when
Whip
a
It.
question comes along, you must tip it.
No, there was that other one, and the other one,
and that other one, yeah,
and then they had some good stuff.
Yeah. Just can't think of what it is offhand. So.
You know what? I'm terrible with that. I some of our guys are like super musically inclined. Like they as soon as you say a song, they know who sings it, or if they say the band, they can name like 20 songs. I don't pay enough attention.
I'm not that motivated.
I'm really good at I'm into music, so I'm good at singer songwriters knowing who they are. But I couldn't rattle off more than off the top of my head Devo songs. No. But I know they did have like a bunch of hits. But.
Yeah, and if I heard the song, I'd be like, yeah, that was probably Devo.
Yeah.
Or Creedence Clearwater Revival. I don't know the difference. I honestly don't.
Or Tina Turner. God rest her soul.
Oh yeah, she gone.
God, I love Tina Turner.
All right, Teddy, are you ready for your tip that you said is super easy?
I implied it was easy. I didn't. It might not be easy because it depends. My answer is easy, but it might not be easy for the people getting the tip. So let's qualify that remark.
Okay. All right, here we go.
Wait, I dare it before you go further. I challenge you, Ted.
I declined
to give him one answer.
I declined.
I want one answer.
I only have one answer.
I want you to. All right,
I only have one answer
because you were talking about that before the show, and I want to hold you to that.
Yeah, this is not.
I don't want you to do one of these things where you come up with really good answers, or you know what you could do? Get an alligator. or get an alligator.
Poison alligator?
And then poison alligator.
And then poison that alligator.
Get a sugar glider.
Oh, so we were playing a board game this weekend, and one of the questions
was it a Ouija board?
Dude, you would
was
have
it a Ouija board? Was it a Ouija board?
No, it was. Oh my God! One of the questions was name the 10 most deadliest species in the world.
Baltar sea snake.
Did you say that?
No.
Did you say Baltar sea?
But it's actually not that
Cheese
specific. It's just the species.
Oh,
like
species. Snake. Yeah.
Fish.
Mosquito.
Spider.
Mosquito.
No, mosquito wasn't on there.
Really? Well, mosquitoes kill more people
Venomous. I'm sorry, venomous.
Oh, venomous. But mosquitoes actually kill more people per year than any animal
I thought
put
you
together.
said hippos do.
You just said hippos do.
Malaria.
I mean, I'm just saying physically kills. I mean, just kill somebody by just
malaria. You just get diarrhea.
Well, you could die from it, but I'm just saying.
Not here.
But I'm saying, like, to get physically killed by an animal, yeah, probably a hippo kills more people than elephants in Africa on a yearly basis.
So the thing we came up, octopus. Was on the list.
Maybe leopards.
Hey,
I don't know.
Octopus was on the list.
Yeah.
Octopus.
Yeah.
And then there's a.
Are they venomous?
Oh yeah.
There are
some of them. Yeah.
Well, actually, one of the most venomous animals in the world is a blue ringed octopus.
Yeah.
Baltar sea snake.
Yeah. And box jellyfish. Box jellyfish.
Jellyfish is on the list.
Box jellyfish.
And the other fish was a stonefish.
Okay. Yeah. Or lionfish. The lionfish. I think that's a poison.
No, stonefish. We looked it up. If you step on a stonefish, you're dead. You're never gonna live. Nobody lives.
Nobody's ever lived.
Nobody's lived from stepping on a stonefish.
But then how would somebody know they stepped on a stonefish? Somebody had to be there. Somebody lived through this.
Socrates.
Yeah, I don't know. Somebody had to do this. Okay, are you ready, Teddy?
No, I am. Yes.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm really distracted. I am super distracted because I have something I want to talk about as soon as we're done.
I could tell. Yeah.
This is going to be
You're chopping at the bit.
Chomping at the bit. Okay. Here you go. Ted, my soon-to-be husband and I are having an argument that is turning into something bigger, and since we are both listeners, we will let you decide. Dumb. I wanted to keep my maiden name when we get married. I have a successful business, and I am known by this name. My fiancé wants me to take his name, and his family is really making a big deal out of this. I said I would consider hyphenating both names, but that's just ridiculous. We are going to go with whatever you choose. Holy crap. So not only are you responsible for the color of someone's garage door, but you are literally, if they do this, and I hope they respond. I never got a picture of the garage door back, but I haven't looked through everything. There's so much shit in there. But you are literally going to name someone. This is like naming their child.
Matt, read the last sentence again. Read the last sentence again.
We are going to go with whatever you choose.
Okay, so
as soon as he said
you
that,
sound like you're drunk right now.
As soon as he said that, the look on Ted's face was fucking hilarious. Ted's eyes,
like the power he had.
His ears and eyes just perked up all together. He looked right at me.
You can't read my face, Mark, because I have the same expression all the time. So that's a lie. Anyway.
What? Are you kidding me?
Anyway, listen,
Ted, your face might be more telling than my face. Oh my God.
Anyway, listen. So here's the thing I want you to do. Okay, so if I get this tip wrong, I'm talking to the woman now. Don't give your husband a fentanyl-laced Moscow Mule as punishment. Just because
there's no right or wrong answer.
Well, I didn't get what town. I didn't get what state they live in.
Well, I'm talking about the Utah lady. Yes. That's what she gave.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe everyone in Utah does.
Okay,
yeah, that might be a thing.
So here's the tip. Okay, so it's actually it seems logical. It could be wrong, but so the logical answer is this: take the husband's name legally on the on the marriage certificate only, just to appease him and his family, but keep your maiden name for your professional business. So for your LinkedIn account, your business cards, yada yada, keep that, and that way, because it's not really, keeping it on a business card is not like a legally binding anything. So who's going to be none the wiser? So in a way, you kind of kill two birds with one stone, right?
Holy shit!
That's a tip. Tip over.
That is insane. I never.
People don't do that because it gets confusing.
It's actually easy. Just
but I mean, if everybody calls her,
tell your husband one thing. Don't
and
no, and just all he needs to see is what he needs to see. Just show him what he needs to see when he needs to see it, so he's appeased. And then you don't have to change your driver's license. You don't have to change your Social Security card, whatever the marriage certificate is, and show him that. He'll be happy. But for your business purposes, keep your maiden name since that's what your name is in the business community because you don't want to change it.
Yeah, it's like
it's perfect.
But hold on, her credit card is going to say like, just say like,
or
say like Mary Johnson.
Okay.
So she says, "I'm."
Well, that's not my real name,
Mary Johnson.
Yeah.
But what if her regular name is like Smith? And you go, oh hey, then they hand you a credit card. And you're just like, that's not what you said.
But it's a credit card. So I mean, if you got to change a credit card, like I said, get a couple of credit cards to just so when your husband sees it, he's happy. He sees his last name on the credit card. So he's he claimed his stake in the world. He planted his seed, he planted his flag, whatever it is. But but the thing that's important to the woman is that she wants to keep her name for business purposes. So your LinkedIn account, your business cards.
You can't have two names.
Sure, you can. Sure, it's called an alias.
That's what I mean. It's an alias,
or AKA also known as. Yeah, you can do that. You can do both. There's no really. Can't do
you
that.
know what?
Imagine if you lived with two full names. Like everybody knew you as one name, and everybody else knew you as another name.
My name's not even Ted.
You can't do that.
I'm not even Ted.
Wouldn't work.
His name is Ted, and one day.
But here's where it gets even. Here's what I thought about. It gets confusing when you have children. I think a lot of people take the name because then there's a lot of families out there that have two different last names.
Sure.
Sometimes some have three. I mean, I know.
We didn't even get that far, but yeah, I mean, obviously that's a whole separate issue because that wasn't part of the tip. But for the purposes of this tip, just to keep it on the tip only, yes, take the husband's name at the wedding on the marriage certificate. Maybe get a couple of credit cards in the husband's last name with your first legal name.
That. You have to have a legal name.
Yeah, but that would have to be her legal name. Would have to be that if they're going to put it on all that stuff. I think
you know what?
It sounded so cogent.
I think you do both.
It sounded like a good idea.
Yeah.
But now that you think about it, that's fucking impossible, Ted.
It is.
She can't have two names.
That's why they do hyphenated names. You can't have.
She said no hyphenated names.
No, so I'm just saying I'm trying to just broker a compromise based on what the two competing parties want, and I think because like I said, the LinkedIn and the business cards or whatever she is known in the business community, it's not really legally binding, right? So I mean, so she can use whatever she wants, and her husband might not be even none the wiser to that. Do you think she's going to hide this? She's going to hide it from her husband. So when someone walks up and say, "Oh, Mary Jones," and he'll be like, "Oh, wait a minute, that's your old name. Your name's Mary Smith," and she'll be like, "Well, sometimes." Yeah.
I don't like it, Ted.
What if she's a doctor, and he's like, "Oh, I'm going to go see this new doctor because it's my wife's old name." He goes to see her, and it's her.
Oh yeah. So wait, hold on. So he's got
she's a masseuse.
He's got a scorching case of syphilis that he got from a prostitute. He goes to this doctor, right? Because he likes the same first name.
Yeah.
Right? And he's like, "Oh, she had the same name as my wife did before she changed it legally to my name, that she would never go back to that."
Right.
And he walks in, and before she even looks at it, he goes, "I've got syphilis from a prostitute." And she goes, "Honey?" And he's just like, "I don't know why I yelled that out. That seems really dumb." Yeah, it seems really stupid.
Well, then, if that was really the case, she probably doesn't have to worry about his last name for too much longer anyways.
Wow. Okay. I mean, and so this is kind of cool. She's doing this.
Seems solvable. It seems doable. It seems there's a compromise for both.
Yeah, and I can tell you right now, I don't remember this woman's name.
We didn't get to the kid part. I wasn't asked about kids.
No. But Ted is drinking today. He's not drinking coffee.
But honestly, okay, without reading too much into the tip, if the guy's got a weird last name, like his name is Gallywekich, and her last name is Smith, you probably don't want to ruin the kids by giving them some weird
Jim Gallywekich
name, Dr. Galakowitz.
I know Jimmy.
Dr.
What?
Galakowitz.
So now you're saying when they have kids that shouldn't have the stupid last name?
No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying in general. In general, I'm talking about if someone gets married to somebody. This is not aside from this tip. If one of the spouses has some weird, long, complicated name that no one can pronounce, you're almost better off just staying with the simple name, especially for your kids, just to make their life easier. That's all I'm saying. You give your kid. I mean, the only people who name their kids weird names are celebrities.
Is this because you have a long last name and it's very difficult for you to spell? When did you learn to spell your last name? How old are you? We were 8 years old?
49.
Yeah. 8, 9 years old when you find. Yeah.
Did you guys ever see the SNL skit years ago with Nicolas Cage on it?
Oh yeah.
Where they were trying to pick out baby names as a new couple, and she was pregnant, and they were trying to decide on a name. And every name she said, he's like, I don't know, honey. He's gonna get picked on at school. Yep. They're all gonna say like, Matt's fat Matt, fat Matt. And he had a rhyme, like a negative rhyme for every name. And then there's a knock on the door, and it's Rob Schneider, and he's like, telegram for Mr. and Mrs. Asswipe.
Yeah.
And he's like,
it's Aswipe.
Aswipe.
Yeah, I love that one.
No, it's like the movie The Wedding Singer. He goes, your name's going to be Julia Gooley. Remember Julia Goolia?
So you know
the
what?
first name rhymes with the last name.
Honestly, you know what? A better tip would be, I would say, have him take her name. That's what. Why not? Why not just throw that? Why not just throw that?
Yeah, you could do that.
Yeah.
It's a brave
I
new
know
world.
somebody did that.
Yeah, you can
You
do
do
that.
not know a
I
guy
swear-
who
okay,
took his
listen.
wife's name.
I'm going to say last names right now.
Go ahead.
Years and years ago, I met a guy. His name was Juan Feldman.
Okay.
And I mean,
Oh,
he was,
is this supposed to be because his first name sounds Spanish?
No.
And his last name
No,
sounds
not at
Jewish
all.
sounds Jewish.
His
Yeah.
wife is Jewish.
Okay.
Okay.
And he's Mexican. He's from Mexico. Great guy. Love Juan. When I first met him, he was Juan Feldman. I was like, you got to be kidding me. Like Juan Epstein, the Puerto Rican Jew from
from
Welcome
Doc-
Back, Kotter.
yeah.
That's how he called himself.
No, but there are like okay. Why do
Well,
celebrities?
yeah, let me finish my story.
Yeah.
So Juan Feldman. I'm like, Juan Feldman? He's like, yeah. His wife's last name was Feldman. The only way the dad would allow him to marry into family is if he converted to Judaism and changed his name to Feldman.
Wait, her father
Yeah.
made him
Change his name
convert to Judaism and change his name.
to Feldman. Yep.
Well, he did it obviously.
Ted,
He did it voluntarily.
Ted, let's just do a
he did.
quick tip.
Yeah.
Ted, in order for me to marry someone, I'm being forced to become Jewish and take my wife's last name. Should I
did
marry
it-
her?
listen, he did it-
Should I marry her?
My answer is, how bad do you want it?
Yeah.
How bad do you want
So
it?
Ted, he kind of did what you're suggesting.
Yeah.
He loved her and he wanted to get married. So in order to get and it was important for her to have the blessing of her family and the
Yeah.
support.
Yeah.
So he went along with it. He's like, I'll do it. I don't care.
Yeah,
I'll
it's
do it.
it's all situational. So here's the thing: let's just say you grew up and you got some weird. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but let's just get some long, complicated ethnic name, and you're gonna marry in a family with like a simpler name. It just makes your life easier for just everything, right? I mean, because to get a legal name change, for example, you got to change your driver's license, your birth certificate, your social security card. You got to contact everybody, and you got to tell everybody, including
But don't you have to
under the
do
sun.
that if you take your wife's name?
Yeah, but
I will tell you this.
but I'm saying
though.
that's more of an
As soon as the
impetus.
old man died, changed his name right back.
No, he didn't.
Yep. Yeah, he goes by his original last name.
What was the original name?
I don't want to go.
Okay.
there. I don't want to.
Well, yeah. Okay. So in your life, if you're walking around right now and you knew a guy named Juan Feldman,
Yeah.
he's not Juan Feldman anymore.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of people where their first
That's
name and last name
correct.
don't really match because you could tell it's obviously something. Yeah.
It is so insane.
I know.
But,
Hey,
what- but
really,
why,
I'm not making it
But
up.
I was saying, why do celebrities change their name? So they're born with a certain name, and then they have
So they have a cool
they have their
name.
stage. Yeah, they have
Oh
a
yeah,
cool
like
name.
Leonardo DiCaprio, Leo.
Yeah, or what about, or even like like Marilyn Monroe. Marilyn Monroe. I think her name was like Norma Jean something. Norma Jean, and then she changed her name to Marilyn Monroe.
Or Armpit, changed his name to Brad Pitt.
Oh my God! And we're done. Thank God. Yeah. No, I mean, I think most guys have. Most people change their name when they become famous. They just want something that's like it kind of rolls off the tongue a little easier.
Yeah.
Like Gene Simmons, that's not his name.
No.
No,
What I don't.
I don't know his.
Oh
real name.
yeah, because he's
She told-
Jewish. He's
yeah.
got a name that sounds kind
No,
of.
I don't think he's. I think he's Yugoslavian. He's like from.
I know, I
Eastern
think he's
Europe. Oh,
Jewish.
he might be Jewish. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's got a name. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So his name is Shlomo Shanshanestein or something, and he wants to change it to something, a little more.
Well, here let's
palatable.
take Juan
Yeah.
Feldman. If your name's Juan Feldman, that's
Kind of a cool
not a
name.
rock and roll name though.
No.
That's not a rock and roll
No.
name, right? So you would want to come up with something that's kind of a little more hardcore, like Boz Skaggs.
What if I change my name to Steve McQueen or Clint Eastwood? Does that make me cool?
You know what I would do?
Bruce Springsteen.
Clint
No,
Eastwood.
if I started a band, I would change my name to David Lee Roth Jr. Yeah. So then I got the name recognition already.
And everybody thinks you're his son.
Right.
The junior part. Why would you put the junior part on it?
Because there's already a David Lee Roth. You'd have to be different.
That's like calling yourself the son of Svengoolie. The son of David Lee
S-
Roth.
no,
Just call yourself the son of
No,
David
I would
Lee
be the
Roth.
son of Svengoolie's son.
Well, actually,
so you'd be the seventh son of a seventh son, like Judas Priest.
Rich Kaz did that because there was a Svengoolie that he took over for.
Oh,
So
yeah?
he called himself the son of Svengoolie. And then after like 20 years, the guy's like, dude, you could drop the son.
Actually, I'm changing my name to Hunter Biden so I can get access to everything. I can sell artwork for
You're gonna spell it with a Y, right?
Hunter Biden, B-Y.
He's gonna
D-E-N,
misspell it.
and then I'm going to draw like a doodle, like I'm going to draw a stick figure and just sell it for like $75,000 at an art gallery.
I'm gonna change my name to Bitcoin
Yeah.
because then I'll get free Bitcoins and I'll be able to do it.
Nah, that's not how it happens.
That's
yeah,
what that's all Ted said.
I changed my name to $10 million.
Yeah.
And I did not.
No, that's a
get
good question. So if you could change your name right now, what name would you? And we don't have to talk about it now, but like, what name would you pick? What's like a cool name that you've heard that like, hey, I wish that was my name.
Maurice Pinkay.
Oh,
That's one of the names I used when I.
What about Kaiser Sose?
I knew a guy named Bob Kelly, Robert Kelly, R. Kelly, and he was an attorney and he had a badass Mercedes. I mean, black tinted windows, SL 500. This is going back 30 years ago, and His license plates on the Mercedes said R. Kelly. Those were his plates.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, but everywhere he went in downtown Chicago,
they
when
thought
he came
was
out
the
of the
R.
restaurant,
Kelly?
there was a huge group of people hanging around his car because they thought he was R. Kelly.
Ted, mostly 8th graders. Yeah, mostly 8th graders. Some freshmen in high school.
No.
I think this happened a few years ago. So
allegedly.
I think this happened a few years ago. I think they found like people around the country named Michael Jordan, and there's the guy's like a plumber. He's like a white guy plumber who lives in like Toledo, Ohio.
David Letterman
but his name's like Michael Jordan.
Yeah,
so it's like, here's Michael Jordan from
this
guy's Michael Jordan. He's a postal carrier from like Knoxville, Tennessee.
It's not like that's a. I mean, it's not like it's a
right, but it's
unique name.
No, but it's Michael Jordan. So I'm just saying. So it just happens to be one guy who just happens to be awesome at basketball. But then there's other people obviously with that name because it's a common first and last name.
Yes, Ted.
Yeah,
Ted. We all real. Yeah, you mean there's more than one Bob Smith?
No. What was that movie, The Office, where the guy's name was he was after the flutist? His name was Michael Bolton. He goes, "Oh, you
he's a sax player."
The Office.
He goes, "I'm Michael Bolton."
Michael Bolton. No relation.
Sax player.
No relation. Okay, so mine is Maurice Pinkay. That's the name I use. If I'm going out and somebody introduces me, I'm just like, "Hi, Maurice Pinkay."
Where's that? What character is that?
Nothing. I just made it up, and I actually used that. I was out with Mick. He was on the show, Mick, and we were at a golf trip, a golf outing, and I walk up and he's introducing me, and I'm just like, I'm drunk, and I'm just like, I'm gonna have some fun with this. He goes, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
So he's introduced me to all the plumbing guys and all this stuff, and I'm like, how you doing? And he goes, Maurice Pinkay. So I'm not paying attention. And he goes, Mac, say hi to this guy. And I go, hey, how you doing? Maurice Pinkay. And the guy looks at me and goes, you're Matt. And he looks at me and goes, you know I know who you are, right? He looks at me and he goes, you know me. I'm so hammered. I'm just like, I'm Maurice, man. I don't know you. I don't know you.
Oh, yeah. I'd be around Mexico.
I love that.
You can't even invent your own name?
No, I'm gonna steal someone else.
Mark, what would be the name you would change your name to?
Stewie Kleinbacher.
Stewie Kleinbacher.
Isn't that from the Family Guy?
No,
that's Stewie Griffin.
Oh,
yeah. All right, that's a terrible name. I mean, it doesn't.
That's actually the name of my goat head I found in Hawaii and brought home. That's what we named him, Stewie Kleinbacher.
You found a goat head?
Yeah, a goat skull, not a head.
And you
so just a
and
skull
you brought it
in
home.
the cave. I did, yeah. I brought it home in my.
But it didn't have any stuff on it.
No, it was just the bones.
Oh,
I mean,
I thought you brought like
skull.
a head. Could you say,
I know,
sir?
that's why I clarified. It's just a skull. But actually, what's cool is the horns still had that. They still have them on there. It's like a cover.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean like the stuff that's on from horns?
like one of those skulls you find in the desert.
It's like
the skulls you find in the desert. It's always in the desert movies where there's like a skull with like horns on it.
It's got horns, but it's got like when a snake
the
sheds.
chitin covering or something.
Yeah, the covers are still on it. Yeah, I brought it home in my luggage.
Okay. Oh man, this is too much for me. Okay, can we move on to something?
Yeah, you're running the show. No one's telling you
Wait,
you
there's
can't.
something else.
No one's saying you can't.
Ted, hang on.
Are you sure? Are you sure? Okay.
I didn't know you needed our permission, but if you want
right.
it, yes, you may. You may move on.
So
to another topic.
let's start slow. Okay.
Let's not talk about DJs, right?
DJs.
Yeah.
Like DJ John. Like
'Cause every time I mention a DJ on the show, they're dead within 2 weeks.
That is true.
We talked about Dick Biondi. He just passed away.
Oh.
Yeah.
So don't mention
I
any
didn't
names.
I'm not systematically murdering all the people you talk about.
Was this like Deadpool or something? You mentioned a name and they.
I did that. Remember,
but it's not me.
One of my favorite human beings in the whole world. When you asked if there's somebody you could have on a show to talk to, who would it be? And I said Lynn Bramer.
Yeah.
3 weeks later, he died.
Yeah. I mean,
it was
in his defense, he was very, very sick.
Yeah.
And then Dick Biondi is very, very old. I mean, if you're, all you got to do is, you got to name somebody in their 20s who's perfectly healthy.
That's like saying I want to talk to Betty White. She's like 99. she's in hospice. She's in hospice. I want to bring her on. And
why couldn't I said like Mancow or somebody?
Are you hoping people? Well, now let's see what happens. You just mentioned.
What's his name? So his real name is like Eric
Mueller.
Really? Yeah, his name is Eric Mueller. It's Mueller.
Is it Eric Mueller? Yeah.
It's not Bueller. It's Mueller.
Yeah. We're moving on. Okay. All right. So you guys tell me what you think. And where the reality and the unreality is in this.
You want us to think.
They do this with kids, right? So with kids, they do a test like when kids are in kindergarten, they test what's reality and what's fantasy because kids can't differentiate between reality and fantasy. So basically, we're like kids now. He's going to see if we know reality from fantasy.
No. I want to see where the reality of this story is compared to what probably happened and what really happened. Okay. So mom posts online that her daughter wasn't able to attend her 8th grade dance because she missed too many days of school.
That's a school rule.
School rule.
Yeah,
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Yep. Seems plausible.
Okay. Seems completely
for sure,
plausible,
yeah.
right? Mom says there's a good reason why. All right. Now, here's where it gets a little
she's
weird.
defending her child now.
Yeah, she's defending her child. Okay. And at first, you're just like, this is going to be bullshit. Okay. But here's what it says. She's missed a lot of school because she's undergoing chemotherapy treatment for many years, and it leaves her in excruciating pain. Okay. So now there's a reason why she's missed all this time, right?
Seems very plausible. Yeah.
So she goes, and the people at the school, and they talk to the people at school.
She has a doctor's note to verify all this.
Again, don't know, right? They straight up say, no, you cannot go to the 8th grade dance. Okay.
All right.
Now, I've worked at a school, and I don't particularly love anybody I worked with there, but there is no school on the planet that has enough dicks to tell a girl who has cancer and is going through chemotherapy that she can't go to her 8th grade dance.
Obviously, they know something.
So something is weird about this, right?
They know something,
right?
Yeah.
So it's really a bizarre story because nobody would do that. Now I worked at a school again for 20 some odd years, and we had a girl that was very sick, and she ended up passing away before she even graduated. Right? We went out of our way to be nice to her all the time, so no one would do this, right? Yeah. So she's decided that her mom says it's strictly. They don't want her, and it's just a school rule that is hard and fast, and nobody can go.
Right.
And then you read into it a little bit.
Right.
Okay, so I guess the day of the dance, she didn't come to school. Okay, and they said, if you don't come to school that day, you cannot go to the dance. So it wasn't.
So she had the opportunity to still go to the dance if she had just gone to school that one day, despite all the time she had missed prior to that.
Despite all the time that she missed, she still had to do it. But the school policy, they said, is if you don't go to school, there's no sports, there's no clubs, there's no dances, there's nothing. But nobody in their right mind would stop a child that has
of course,
that has cancer.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'm looking at now, you find out that the girl has an IEP, which means she has an individual education plan. That means she's got some issues.
She's got some issues.
She's got some issues.
Some educational issues,
that go along
some learning
with this,
issues,
all this.
Yeah.
And then you find out that this girl has missed a lot of days of school, constantly late, and it may or may not be because she's not feeling well. It may be because her mom doesn't get up to take her to school, right? Okay. So when you hear a story like that, if you don't look at it and read it, it sounds like somebody's being horrible. And you can see I look at all the comments at the story. These people are terrible. How could they do that? No one would do that. No person in the world would ever do that.
When you get one side of the story, that's why it's always important to get two sides of the story so you can see everything in its proper context.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's all.
And the guys are just like, they're like, we're not going to get into any of this stuff.
Yeah.
We did this for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's really weird. So whenever I see these stories, I'm just like, I don't understand how people think that they can just say whatever they want and it'll never come back to get them. This mom obviously thought that something would come of this, right? By telling this obviously untrue story.
Sure.
No one is that heartless. There's not a human being on the planet.
Well, there are some heartless people out there, don't get me wrong, but I mean, you'd have to be really tone deaf. I'm not saying there aren't people out there who are like really tone deaf and they've gotten in trouble for that. So it is possible, but probably unlikely given the full context. So
when I hear these stories now, for years now, I just write it off. I don't even get into it. I don't get mad because I know there's something more to it. If it doesn't sound right or make sense right off the bat, there's something going on that we don't know, right? There's information out there we don't know. I'm not going to assume that the whole school's full of like Nazis.
Total assholes.
Yeah, and
you would have to be a total asshole.
So like I said, there's something else there. They know something.
Here's the thing too. Okay, let's just say she's 100% right about everything, and the school they're like blunt instruments. They're not listening to her. Here's what you do. You're in 8th grade. You're obviously going to graduate that year. You're never going back there, right? Because of what K through 8, then you go to high school. Have a little, take her out for a special day as kind of a workaround. Maybe like the boy she wanted to go. Assuming she has like a date for the dance. Do something separate where, it's not the same as going to the dance. I get it. But the point is she's never going back to 8th grade unless they're holding her back, right? So, I mean, she's not going back there.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine failing a kid who's going through chemotherapy and has cancer? Yeah. That'd be the only thing that would make you worse as a human being. Yeah. Oh, you missed too many days of school. And you know what? For the short amount of time you have left, you're going 8th grade again. How do you feel about that?
Well, I'll tell you, as somebody that was involved with a grammar school for the better part of 13 years, because I have 2 boys that went through the same grammar school, kindergarten, all the way to 8th grade. You get involved in the school, you do fundraising, you get to know their parents, you know a lot of the students in the school that has like 350, 400 kids. You get to know them over the course of like 10, 12 years. If she was at school since kindergarten, everybody knows the parent, everybody knows the family.
They wouldn't even they wouldn't, you know what? I'll bet you, if this was real, I'll bet you that the 8th grade kids wouldn't go to that dance. They'd have a separate dance to let her do.
The story was,
they have like a boycott.
If the story was real.
They have a boycott, yeah.
Because that's what I would do.
Yeah,
I would be like, what? They're not letting Jane go to the dance? All right, fuck that dance. Nobody's going to that dance. We'll just have a separate dance.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Or they would be an uproar, right? It'd be she obviously has a reason here.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So go on.
Okay. No, I'm just saying. No, I don't know.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah, that's all I know is as the story came out, there was a lot more things.
Right.
A lot more.
Well, that's why it's always important to hear both sides of the story, so to have the full context, whether it's this story or any story.
2 sides
or any
of the
story.
story.
Yeah, but I'm always freaked out by
Except this
people-
show, it's just our side, and there is no other side.
Sometimes there's 3 sides.
There's definitely 3 sides. Yeah, there's almost always 3 sides.
Ted's got a 7-sided story he told one time.
To himself. We didn't even talk. At no point did we even
There's
talk.
a sock puppet.
All right, so let's get into something fun. This is the coolest thing. I don't know if you guys have seen this. Tell me if you have seen Ron DeSantis' hot new commercial.
I have not.
You have not seen this?
I'm not following that at all. I'm gonna have to start researching it because you talk about it very
It
consistently.
is hot, and it is fabulous.
Wait, is he with some bodybuilders or something? I heard about that.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Okay. So this is okay. Hold on.
And they're oiled up. They're oiled up. By
So
the way.
the premise behind this commercial is that he's kind of attacking Trump because Trump said he's like pro gay pride and all that kind of stuff. He made some comments about that. We're going to make this the best, right? Well, I mean, you know how
I know. Yeah.
we all listen.
That hit him below the
become-
belt. That's a below the belt
yeah,
shot between those 2 fuckers, right?
Yeah. It'll become much more. You get an idea much more after
Man,
this.
here's how childish is Ted. Oh yeah? Whoa. Well, you like gay people.
Yeah.
You think gay people are normal? What? Well, I'll show you.
Yeah,
That's how juvenile this is, right?
Okay, so that's exactly so DeSantis went full hate on the LGBTQ2+ KG community, and he came out with this commercial. Okay, so first, this is the stuff that's in this.
Where's the commercial running? Where's it
Can I
running?
YouTube this? Can I YouTube this?
I don't. I had to YouTube it. It wasn't running. It didn't run. I don't watch
Florida or something?
commercials.
Right, it's got to be. It's got to be local, right?
No. It's a national
national?
commercial.
Oh,
because he's
running
campaigning for president.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
I had to see it on YouTube. Okay, so here's what I will tell you is in this video. Ready? Tons of dudes in drag. Okay, a shirtless, oiled. Yeah, the guy's hot. A hot bodybuilder.
Yeah.
He's hot, and tons of pride flags.
Is it the Village People?
Okay.
Village People.
Okay. At one point, he is superimposed next to the main character from American Psycho. Have you guys ever seen that movie?
Yeah.
with
Christian Bale.
Yeah.
Christian Bale. Yeah.
So in
Good
one
movie.
part of this movie, Christian Bale actually attacks a guy.
Yeah.
Tries to kill him. And the guy, he doesn't kill him. The guy is gay. And
Right.
he thinks Christian Bale is coming on to him.
Right.
And so he's into Christian Bale. He wants to have hot gay sex with him. That's the character. He has Christian Bale's
Yeah.
character next to him saying, and it says something like, I have a plan. Which, okay, no, I want you to think about this. At one point in the commercial, he takes a guy over his knee and he spanks him and calls him a bad boy.
DeSantis does?
No, I'm just kidding. I made that part up. But all the other stuff is real.
Wow.
Listen, he does all of this besides American Psycho is weirdly gay. I mean,
Yeah,
it gets
yeah.
into this whole thing, right?
It's pretty gory too. It's pretty.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Now, that's all the stuff he has to come in, and he's bashing gay people. So I have one thing. I've seen this. You got to look at it. I want everybody who listens to watch this thing. Get on YouTube and watch it, and ask me and answer this one question for yourself: is he bashing gay people, or is he coming out? Like seriously, it is, dude. It is. It doesn't even seem that negative. It seems.
I'm coming out. I want DeSantis to know.
Yeah. I'm telling you, man. It's the
That's
weirdest.
my next TED Tip song.
I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to
Ted's
YouTube.
coming out.
I'm gonna have to YouTube. I'm gonna have to
He's
YouTube
gonna
that.
tip you
I'm gonna have to
good.
YouTube that commercial,
Dude,
but-
it's the weirdest thing.
So what's he doing? He's pandering to the gay community.
No,
What's the
no,
purpose
it's
of the
supposed
commercial?
to be very hateful to gay people, like showing that he hates gay people and Trump loves them. That's supposed to be the premise of this commercial.
Well, that's actually good for Trump. I mean, I can't say that's going to help DeSantis.
Yeah, but I think the people who would vote for DeSantis, I mean, he is terribly homophobic. I mean, he's just an asshole. He's a horrible asshole. But yeah, I mean,
he's not going to get the nominee. I mean, he's not. I think he's trailing by 20 percentage points. He's not going to get the nominee. If he was smart, what he would do, he would just let Trump. Because here's the bottom line: let's say Trump gets the nomination, he's not going to run again after this. Just wait the 4 years, or just you should angle to be his vice president. Right? I mean, but unless he's got such a big ego, unless he's got such a big ego where he has to be the number one guy.
Come on, would you ever want to be Donald Trump's co-pilot?
Listen, let's put it this way:
that ship is
no matter who
everyone that's ever been next to him.
Listen, no matter who the president is, if you're the vice president, you're one heartbeat away from being the president, and you're the vice president. No matter who the president is.
No way, dude.
Yeah, but if he was smart, if I was advising him, I would say, you know what? Let Trump say whatever he's going to do. He's not going to run again after this. So it's either he's going to get the nomination in 2024, which he's probably going to get anyway, but after that, he's gone.
Do you honestly think that?
DeSantis is only 44 years old. Or 46. He's a young guy. So I'm just saying.
He's got to be at least 45, I believe.
Yeah, 35. You got to be 35 to run for president. He's young. He's like 44. But no, I'm just saying if he was smart, just let Trump do what Trump's going to do. He's going to get the nomination either way. So I'm just saying you're kind of wasting your time with this, unless you're angling to be his vice president.
They're both going to lose to you. Whoever wins is going to lose to you.
Well, they should.
We haven't even started campaigning yet, Ted.
We don't have to.
We don't have to. Listen, we just keep.
You have to campaign. Vote for Ted. We don't have to spend money, but we could talk.
Yeah. Well, vote for Ted.
Yeah. Vote for Ted.
Yeah.
Vote for Ted. He loves gay guys.
I love everybody.
Well, I don't know about gay guy. He loves gay sex. I don't know about. I think you just use gay guys for the sex.
I just don't love my 3-wood. That's the only thing.
And guys have to be involved in that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, it's just it's such a weird thing. You know what? Honestly, I can't believe that we're going to have a full year. Of more of this.
Actually, you know who Trump gets for who Trump gets for his vice president? Tim Scott, the African American senator from South Carolina who's also running for president. I like that guy. If he was smart, he'd get that guy as his vice president.
Trump?
You like
Trump.
That guy.
Trump's going to get a black guy.
Yeah, Tim Scott. He's the only black U.S. senator. He's from South Carolina. He's actually declared for the presidency. He seems. You
don't feel as though this might be a. Trump does not have.
I think it's a great idea.
A super solid relationship.
It's a great idea. Actually, I think
minority people at all.
No, here's the funny thing. I actually think Trump. Don't quote me on this, but I actually think he did more for the African American criminal justice reform. He actually pardoned a lot of African Americans during his tenure as president.
Yeah, just ask Trump.
Yeah. No, but I think he did that. I think that's a real thing. He pardoned a lot. He pardoned a lot of African Americans.
I know you're right on some things, but just letting a few African American people go free.
But here's the funny thing. So, I think he was giving one of his State of the Union speeches, and let's assume he said what he's saying is true. Let's assume what he's saying is true. He said,
"Why
during his tenure as president, African American unemployment has been the lowest it's ever been since blah blah blah."
But he just said that. That could be true or not true.
But let's just say it's true. Everybody got up and clapped except the Black African American caucus, who, if it was true, how come they didn't get up and clap? You know why? Because they didn't do it, assuming it was true.
Well, it's never been lower.
Because they didn't get credit for it. So that's a whole separate discussion. But
Ted, I am not going to get involved in
politics.
The truth
Politics is filled with hypocrites. Yeah.
Of anything Donald Trump does.
Okay.
Yeah, my dog is literally laying on the floor right now, right next to me,
suffering,
snoring.
He's moaning.
Yeah, she's
that's
literally snoring at like an unbelievable.
Put me down.
Okay, are you guys ready to play? How can we screw this up?
Sure,
it's gonna be fun.
I think we can find ways.
Okay, no. So
the question is, how can we screw this up?
So
we screwed it up 70. We've already screwed up 77 episodes in a row.
How we could screw it up?
I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to give you the setup, and I'm going to tell you that this was unsuccessful. Okay, and you have to tell me how it became unsuccessful. How did someone screw up the unscrewable-upable? Okay, here we go. Okay, so we're going to take a crime that seems like a no-brainer, okay? You cannot not let this happen. It's too easy. Here we go. This crime cannot be fucked up, and you guys have to figure out how. Okay, you are 23 years old, and you're working at a convenience store, okay? A guy comes in to buy some stuff and some lottery tickets, okay? He leaves and forgets the lottery tickets on the counter. Okay, so step one, what do you do right then if you're working there at the convenience store?
Put him off to the side on the register, and when the guy comes back, assuming he comes back, you would give it to him.
No.
If he comes back.
Yeah.
But if he doesn't come back, then obviously, then that's another story. But we haven't gone that far. So
Okay, it makes sense, right?
And what I would do is I would take it and put it on the underside of the counter. You know where they used to do like yesterday's winning numbers?
Right.
Just put it right under there and say yesterday's winning numbers. When the guy comes back, he looks at that. He's like, "Whoa,
Okay, Ted,
where are my tickets?"
Wait, are you on your phone?
no,
What the fuck?
no,
You just reminded him he's playing the lottery, dude.
no. I was checking the Powerball. It is up to $523 million for tonight's drawing. I'm going to get some on the way home.
And you
Don't
couldn't
worry.
check that in 30 minutes. I'm going to kill you. I swear to God. Okay, so no, did not happen. Here's what happened. Okay, the great thing about this is, and again, this is how it cannot be fucked up. This guy left, thought he lost the tickets, had no idea where they were, and he wrote them off.
Yeah.
So now there's a lottery ticket on the counter. This guy leaves a couple of days later. He can't find him. Has no idea if he won or lost.
Yeah.
Doesn't exist.
Odds are he lost.
Okay, so now you have.
He didn't probably. That's why we're having this conversation.
Damn right. You have in your possession lottery tickets, okay? And this young lady, she's 23 years old. She's a crack addict.
Okay.
She works at this convenience store. She now has
Allegedly.
a $3 million lottery ticket in her hand. She finds out that night that it is worth $3 million. The guy has no idea where his tickets are.
Yeah.
He thinks they're gone. He's not looking for it. He's not
Yeah.
worried about it.
Yeah.
You have that ticket
Right.
in your hand. You took it home. How could you fuck this up?
Sell it for some crack.
No.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
I got to win a lottery
But you know,
ticket.
it's $3 million.
Yeah.
I don't think there's ever been $3 million worth of crack on a planet.
Here's the thing. So with the lottery, this has happened before. This isn't like a new thing. So I guess like there's been stories of clerks, not in this particular case, where like someone will check their tickets and the clerk will incorrectly say, "Oh, you only won $1,000," and they know it's a big winner, so they'll give the person $1,000 and keep the ticket and try to cash it, or they'll give it to like a relative to cash it because you have 1 year.
None of that
You have one
exists,
to cash here. Yeah, so
Right
I
here,
know.
far.
Roll it up and smoke it. She used it as rolling papers.
Could be. That's a good way to do it. But no, this guy has no idea where the ticket is.
Well, not her.
But so is
She
it?
has the ticket.
But is it?
She has the ticket.
But is it
He has
considered?
no
is-
idea
smoked
that.
it.
But
She
is it
smoked
considered abandoned property because he left it there?
No.
It's not.
No,
I mean,
actually, no. He paid for it. So
he
legally
paid
it's
for it, but he forgot it. So I mean, that's
this
illegal.
is not
That's a legal argument.
This is not an unprecedented case. It's
Okay.
happened.
Okay.
many
Okay.
times.
I'm not
Okay,
familiar.
right,
so-
right. But he, at no point does he know he had the winning ticket.
Yeah,
Right.
Of
At
course
no
not.
point, he just thinks he lost
Yeah,
it somewhere.
yeah, sure.
But he doesn't even know it's a winner.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, are you ready? We'll keep going. She waits 2 days to redeem it.
Should have waited 363 days to redeem
2
it, but
days.
okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when she goes to the redemption center, she brings her boyfriend with her.
Ah.
How can you fuck this up?
Yeah.
He's her boyfriend.
No, not the guy. The guy's gone. No, her and her boyfriend
Okay.
go 2 days later
Yeah.
to the redemption center.
All right. Yep.
To get their money.
Right.
How could you fuck this up? It's impossible, right?
She goes there and says, "I found this. Somebody left this ticket on my counter."
She did not do that.
Okay.
That would seem pretty stupid. I mean,
Yeah.
Well, that's
crack
one
or
way
not.
to fuck it up,
Yeah.
right?
Right. Well,
That- okay.
she did.
Well,
okay, that's one way.
let's see what
Ted,
happened.
Okay.
No, Ted.
What's another way to fuck
Ted,
it up?
I'm asking you, how could you fuck this up? What could you do at this point now? You're in this place.
Yeah.
You have the ticket in your hand
Yeah.
with your boyfriend,
Right.
and you're collecting your $3 million.
Yeah.
How could you fuck this up?
That's a good question. I'm trying to think what you could possibly do because possession is 9/10 of the law. So let's assume she signed the ticket. She puts her name on it.
Right. I mean, if no one's
Wait, why
if
did
no
you
one's
say no?
disputing
Why,
this,
when I gave an answer, why did you go no?
Oh
no,
no, sorry,
the-
sorry.
the
But no
the-
one's disputing this. She has the
Yeah,
ticket in her hand.
the only thing I could think of, I mean, I'm not sure what she's told them or what she didn't tell them. The only thing I think of, I know, like there's video surveillance at these convenience stores.
But no one would look for it.
Yeah, but as soon as you buy the ticket, the lottery knows right away by the barcode. They don't go by the numbers; they go by the barcode. They know
it's a
exactly
winner,
when
yeah.
the ticket was sold,
Where
who bought,
sold, yeah.
where it was sold, and they could obviously backtrack that stuff. So unless
But
she
why would
confessed,
they look for it?
Right? But unless she confessed something that she shouldn't have,
Okay.
and I don't know
Here,
what
you
that
ready?
might
Well, that
be,
was my answer. I said I found this on the counter.
but she said something that she shouldn't have said.
No, first thing, so she's had the ticket for 2 days.
Uh-huh.
It comes in as she hands it to him. It's all ripped up, folded up, and partially burned. Now, not enough that they wouldn't redeem it.
Yeah.
Partially burned because she burned it a little bit while she was doing crack with her boyfriend
Wow.
in the previous 2 days.
Well,
so
that's
now
what I said.
instead of keeping this in pristine condition for 2 days,
Yeah.
she now has a partially burned, ripped, and messed up ticket, so much so that they have to ask her, hey, what happened with the ticket?
Oh, okay. Interesting.
And then she tells a story.
Yeah.
Okay.
A falsehood.
Yeah.
A whopper.
So she started with the story is I bought it when I was at work, right before I got off work. I bought it the other day because they know exactly when it was bought. Ted's right.
Yeah, they know exactly. Right to the minute.
And then she starts to add some fun story detail things that make no sense to anyone at all. And now everyone in the world is suspicious.
Yep.
But not that much. They're just like, okay, this makes sense. I've seen her picture. She clearly looks like a crack addict. Yeah. She looks like a crack addict. So she could just be a crack addict who's just like, okay, man, we got lucky. This $3 million is going to go right back into the system.
Yeah. Sure,
because she's gonna do it. Any idea what you could do now? Everything's still good. They haven't really done anything. They're giving her her money.
Yeah.
She's getting her money.
Well, here's the thing. Here's what I know about the lottery, because I've actually won small amounts, and I've gone to the lottery claim center. So if you win something big, in Illinois, for example, if you go to the lottery claim center, they can give you a check up to $25,000 right then and there. Okay, but if you win a big money, like say $2 or $3 million or something big, they actually send your ticket to Springfield, which is, for people who don't know, is the capital of Illinois, for a security check, and that could take 6 to 8 weeks. So you're not going to get $3 million right then and there under no circumstances.
No. Yeah. She wasn't getting like the $3 million that day.
Of course, yeah, that's not going to happen.
But they were okay with it.
Yeah.
What could you do? You're now, you and your boyfriend are in the lobby now. You've done everything. They were a little apprehensive because of the weight condition.
So they confirm she's a winner, and then
but there's no skill to buying a lottery ticket. So just because it's a person who you find like say undesirable or someone you don't approve of, they obviously can easily buy the winning lottery ticket. Someone who's like sophisticated, right? So whoever buys the winning lottery ticket, you can't judge them based on their lifestyle.
So you guys could not think of a way that you could fuck this up.
She asks for like less money up front.
Are you ready?
Oh, that's a good one.
In the lobby, her and her boyfriend, she decides in the lobby of the redemption center to tell him that he's only getting, now it's $3 million total, that he's only getting $200,000. And what do you think happens?
He ratted her ass out. He ratted her ass out. Yeah.
They have a blowout.
No, you know what the funny thing is?
Absolute blowout.
No honor among thieves. Yeah. Right there. Boom.
Absolute blowout.
Yeah.
Right? And everybody can hear. And he starts screaming about
how
the ticket got there.
Yeah.
She starts saying, don't talk, and all this stuff.
Don't tell anybody.
Right. And they're literally two crackheads.
He's whispering.
He himself is also a crackhead. Okay. And
who've displayed extremely poor judgment.
I don't know. He had a good crackhead. I mean, how many crackheads are going to be worth $3 million?
Well, number one, don't bring your shithead boyfriend when you claim your ticket. Why bring him? He can only fuck it up, right? I mean, what's he going to do?
She thought she was going to get $3 million and he was going to carry it or something.
Right.
You know that, right? So they have this big blowout. They're screaming all the different things.
Lovely.
They basically give the whole thing away.
Nice.
And then they run a check on it, and they do the first thing you said.
Security camera footage.
Right to
they
security
see the
camera.
guy who bought it. Yep.
They see him leave it. They see her grab it. They see her put it in her pocket. Right now, somehow this all gets out on the news before they even come to get her. Like it's news.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, it's grand larceny.
Yeah.
That's what it
and
is.
Right now, at this present time, she is on the run. No money.
It's fine.
No money, no nothing. Her and crackhead Bob are on the run.
Yeah.
And that is how you fuck up a free and clear $3 million check.
So here's the funny thing. I think I saw part of that story because they actually showed the guy who actually really did win. He was like an older guy.
Yeah,
he showed him with a big cardboard ticket, the cardboard check of $3 million. Yeah, so they showed. So obviously that he got the rightful owner. They found him.
Yeah, so they put a picture up. They found out who it was.
Yeah.
Right, because I guess he had bought it with he bought something with a credit card, so he knew his name.
Yeah,
they put pictures of him up all around.
Yeah, you can't buy lottery tickets with a credit card.
But
he bought something else. He bought liquor or whatever it was at the convenience store.
Yeah.
And they found him, and I think just in the last couple of days, he actually got his check for $3 million.
Yeah, I mean it's a symbolic check, but the point is they found the actual winner.
Ted. It wasn't. It was a 6-foot check that was.
It was a Ricky Henderson check. That story.
Yeah.
I love that story.
I love that story. Yeah,
No,
his first check was the big check.
But there's stories like that.
I mean,
I've read stories like that. I mean, that was a different variation, but like there was a case where actually I didn't feel bad for these guys. I guess these guys were like Chicago Board of Traders, so they're making money. Like hedge fund traders or commodities traders. So I guess in whatever they are, like there's a convenience store that sells lottery tickets, and I've actually probably bought lottery tickets in those similar convenience stores. So they bought like little lot, like either the Lucky Day Lotto or some lotto, and they didn't win like $1 million. It was like $500,000. So they give it to like a clerk, the assistant clerk, that just hey, you just go check this out, see if this is a winner. So she scans it. It's a big winner, and yeah, she just never brought it back. But the thing is, she knew she couldn't turn it in, or she'd be fucked. So, and I guess they busted her.
Oh my God.
But they never. She knew she couldn't turn in the ticket because she'd be fucked. You know, she'd be busted for grand larceny. So the ticket basically just disappeared, and nobody got anything.
What?
I think I think she got charged with something, but she couldn't give it to her.
How do they know it was a winner?
She knew it was a winner because she checked it on their behalf.
She's not telling people that.
Yeah, but somehow I don't know what, because this is like years ago, but they found out somehow that it wasn't her ticket. And then, because she tried to give it to like a relative, give it to the relative to cash it instead of them, instead of her. But somehow, she got compromised at some point along the way. So she knew she couldn't turn in the ticket, because if she did, her and the relative would be charged with grand larceny, because I think anything over $1,000 is considered grand larceny.
Yeah, but how would anybody know?
Again, I don't remember the details, but that's what happened.
That seems like a wives' tale.
No, it's a real story. And so the funny thing is, like, the ticket never.
Ted, that's as ridiculous as a crackhead. Oh, wait a minute.
The ticket was.
Oh, remember my story about Las Vegas, the airport slot machine?
Yeah.
It just happened.
Again?
2 days ago.
Huh.
Another one of your friends.
No, nobody I know. But somebody just hit a jackpot in the airport for over $1 million.
Here's what's happened tonight.
And it was just like that's the thing. I talk about DJs, they die. I talk about people winning big at the airport in Las Vegas. Here's
what might happen tonight. So I might have a.
Whoa.
I told that story before it happened,
dude. I am freaking out right now.
So right now, if let's just say I have a $520 million winning ticket tonight, and I sort of like promised you guys.
Last show, everybody.
And I said, hey, I'm gonna. I remember I said when I allegedly said I'm gonna take care of you guys. I'm gonna cash them. I'm like I don't even know these guys. But sir, you've been on 77 episodes. I'm like I never seen this guy.
Yes, he is
in my life.
Yes, he is. He is obligated to give me at least $10 million.
You're obligated to run him over with your car.
That's what. Yeah, he's got a choice.
Like, what's his name? Talk to my attorney. Yeah. It's my attorney. So
that'd be terrible.
Matt, legally, I can't. Tax purposes, you know what I mean?
I'll tell you what. Just meet me in Sedona. We'll be on a golf course tomorrow anyway. It won't matter.
We need a cornfield in Indiana.
I want $10 million. I want to be able to piss $10 million away. Like in 5 years, like everyone who wins the lottery, I want to do this. Hey, aren't you the guy that had $10 million? Yeah, $10 million.
You know what I want to do? I want to buy like a big 5-room mansion, but I don't want to put any furniture. I just want to play wiffle ball and just put beer coolers everywhere and just have like a man cave.
Steve Martin.
Just have like a
from The Jerk.
I want a 6,000 square foot man cave. That's all I want. I don't want any furniture. I have like a futon, a sleeping bag, PlayStation. Not that I even play that stuff.
Yeah, you didn't even play video games.
Just in case you come over, Mark.
Here, a guy won the lottery. I don't know, a couple weeks ago. And I think he won like $2 million or whatever. And he asked him, what's the first thing you're going to buy? And he said, a new vacuum. He literally said a new vacuum.
Practical guy.
Shouldn't you have hardwood floors, man, at this point in your life?
Like a shop vac?
I have no idea, but that was his thing. So wait, hold on. If you guys had $2 million and you wanted to be extravagant, okay, what would you buy?
For $2 million? Okay,
$2 million.
$2 million.
Well, you don't have to spend the whole $2 million. I don't think he spent $2 million on a vacuum.
Elon Musk made it. It's
an
Elon Musk vacuum cleaner.
Actually, I wouldn't. You know what I would do? I wouldn't buy anything. I would just put it somewhere, and I'd have to think about it for about. I would need about a month.
Okay, but
to
after
think about
month,
everything.
You still haven't bought anything. What's the first thing? What's the thing that you would say? I have unlimited money that I really want.
You know what? I would buy a good mid-size SUV or like a larger SUV, and probably a nice set of golf clubs, and then I go from there.
Mark.
Yeah.
Something you're going to really treat yourself with, say in the $100,000.
Buy something for myself.
Just for
yourself.
Yeah.
What's the thing you're going to buy? Like you got
Bugatti.
$2 million.
Would you buy a Bugatti?
No, I
would
wouldn't
you
buy a car.
Alfa Romero.
I wouldn't buy a car. I wouldn't buy clothes. I wouldn't buy jewelry. I wouldn't buy.
You wouldn't buy like an earring?
A nose earring?
Yeah, really.
A real diamond earring?
Yeah.
A penis enlargement consultation with Dr. Emil Schiffhausen?
What?
No.
What is wrong with you? What do you need? How can you consult on a penis enlargement?
Why would it cost money?
Yeah.
My name is Dr. Emil Schiffhausen.
The guy knows he won the lottery. He's going to charge $1 million for the consult.
Yeah. He can't feel anything.
Come on, what would you buy?
I honestly, I would buy property. That would be I would buy something like a place that I would want to go that I can enjoy. So I would buy a piece of property.
Yeah.
Like what? Like farmland?
Yeah,
house,
exactly. Yeah,
or,
no,
or
like
some-
farmland that I could.
Yeah, there you go. Build it. Okay, it's for future reference.
Yeah.
I mean, we're just talking about we're all going to buy that eventually, but we're just talking about the first thing, like just like something. I mean, I'm not going to buy an artwork.
I would not buy land.
What would you buy?
You know what?
Just something like a toy, just something for you, just a little, instant gratification. I think we're talking about an instant gratification
right
type
away?
thing. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
There was this smoke.
You know what I would do?
I'd buy this high end
Smoke machine?
smoker for food. Like
there you
backyard.
go. Yeah, there you go.
It's
There you
like
top of the line.
yeah, it's like $5,000 or something.
Yeah.
Something I would never.
Okay, yeah, that you would never consider
So
normal.
buy it, yeah.
Sure.
I would put a 10,000 watt stereo in my car. I would like to. I would have. Honestly, I would have.
And then you'd go buy new windows.
What do you like?
30
What do you like? Are you
speakers.
like Marky Mark or something?
No, I would have like
Fun bunch?
30 speakers, amplifiers, the colors, the whole thing.
You're like Slim Shady. You're going to turn the system up.
Yeah, yeah, with the windows down and the system up. Yeah,
and
I would.
You'd have no windows.
8,000 watts. Yeah, I would.
okay,
I would
now
just
you
have.
would have
So you get a 1999 Ford Escort. You put a spoiler on it. You
No, I put it in my car.
put some rims on the motherfucker.
I don't want any rims on the
some rims on
motherfucker.
So you
I
would
just
put it in
want-
your Ford Escort.
I would want it in my car,
Pontiac Bonneville.
like the nicest,
Your Fiero.
most
Pontiac
insane.
Fiero. You'd put a speaker system in your Fiero.
Hey, listen, that's a nice Fiero. That car is nice, but
Matt
no,
drives one
dude,
of
I
those
would have
Civics
it.
that look like a giant penny racer.
No, I
He
mean
would buy
you
a
drive
giant
your
penny
car
to
a
put on the
lot.
back of his penny racer and do wheelies down the street.
That's funny
He's so
to you.
mad. Yeah.
No,
you ever
I'm-
see those cars that look like giant penny racers?
Yeah.
So Matt would go buy a giant penny, put it on the back of his car, and do wheelies down the street.
Mark, what you'd buy? You'd buy like a porcelain bell, so you could just ring it for yourself. Like,
Yeah.
ding, 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 ding.
Now you know what? Now I'm thinking maybe I'd
Excuse
get on the
me?
dark web and hire a hitman.
Excuse me, and pay him in Bitcoin.
You know what I would do? I'd hire an arsonist.
Yeah,
to
you would
burn
hire an
down your land.
FBI. You'd hire an FBI agent to knock me off.
Yeah, no, I would hire an arsonist
Again.
to burn down your land. That's what I would do, just to be mean.
Perfect, controlled burn. That's what I needed, Matt. Thank you.
Get rid of all those trees.
Get rid of all those weeds. Thank you
guys
very much.
Suck. All right. Did you guys hear that the Wheel of Fortune is getting a new host?
Ryan Reynolds.
You wish it was Ryan.
Burt Reynolds.
Ryan Seacrest.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a safe choice. He's a
I
safe
know it
choice.
was a
Yeah,
Ryan.
he's pretty
Pat
I know it was a
Sajak.
Ryan.
Pat Sajak is leaving. I think he's been doing it for 30 years.
Farragut
hold on,
High School.
hold on.
Hey,
Don't say it, Ted. Don't say it.
Farragut High School,
Mark.
Chicago, Illinois.
Yeah, Mark, take a guess.
How about Farragut High School?
What? Take a guess, and I don't know who. If anybody under the age of 60 watches the Wheel of Fortune, I'd be surprised. Take a guess, Mark, because you know Ted. How much did Pat Sajak make a year hosting Wheel
He
of
got
Fortune?
paid per episode, didn't he? Or he made
It's a year,
Just
year's
per year,
salary,
per year.
whatever
Okay,
it is.
okay.
And
Take a
Vanna White.
guess.
And Vanna White.
Well, so I found
just
out
him.
Vanna White's was wrong. I have a new number for Vanna
I
White.
saw this a long time ago and I couldn't believe it. I think he was getting paid upwards of like $40 million a year.
Nope.
No, that's too high.
That's way too
That's
much.
high. That's too high.
$15 million a year. $15 million a year. He worked about 3.5 months a year. He made $15 million. Guess how much Vanna made?
Oh boy, like $2 million.
$4 million a year. That was the accurate number.
Yeah, but
thought it
she
was.
doesn't-
we thought it was
but-
more, yeah.
Listen, in all fairness, she doesn't do what he does. Why should she? She made a lot of money. So you're
Okay.
not knocking her salary.
No.
Okay,
I,
okay.
no. I'm
But
mocking.
didn't she
I'm mocking the fact
complain?
that-
But didn't she complain that she didn't get a raise for like 20 years?
Yeah,
Supposedly,
so
yeah.
she's suing. She hired.
She's suing. Yeah,
She's suing. Okay.
nice.
She wants a raise. Okay. Now this is
she's
crazy.
Staying on. She's
Like
staying on.
retroactive.
She might be.
Like
Her
retroactively.
contract is up. Her contract is up.
She's
So-
like Farrah Fawcett. She's like 89.
So I
She
got on
doesn't
the,
even do anything
like-
anymore. Now she just touches. She
Right,
doesn't.
yeah.
She used to have to turn them with two hands.
Oh, yeah, that was really
It's
hard.
like- it's like-
the
it's like-
touching is way less.
Well, what
work.
I'm saying is they dumbed her job down, and she wants more money.
Yeah, she doesn't even turn the
But
numbers.
How can Pat Sajak make $15 million? He doesn't do anything.
Dude, not bad for a kid from the west side of Chicago.
Is that, yeah,
No.
good for him.
Yeah.
He milked it. He milked it good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, he rode that wave as far as he can go.
So I got on. I take a look. I took it to look at the Wheel of Fortune website. Okay. Now
You're a wheel watcher.
Now
aren't
this
you?
is why. Okay, so I looked.
Whale
it's not-
watcher.
It's actually pretty easy to become a contestant. The tryouts actually really easy.
Yeah.
Okay, but
They
on
had
the
them in
page,
Rosemont a
Vanna
few
White.
years ago.
Vanna White. You can do it all online now. It's all online.
Oh, they had an
Yeah.
in-person one a few years ago.
Vanna White has a
before COVID.
page, and every day you can get on and rank her dress, and see which dress that she wore was the best dress of the week. And
Yeah, you know what?
and they have at least 10 years of dresses. You can look
Ted,
up.
we're learning a lot about Matt right now.
No, if you go into the website,
you didn't do
you
research.
can look at 10 years of Vanna White dresses.
I have an answer for that. You know what my answer is? Vanna White does not exist in my stream of consciousness.
But
you know what Vanna White is to me? Persona non grata.
Listen, people are so I don't know what people are so freaked out by this. I don't even know.
So how long has the show been on?
I don't know, forever.
It's been on
for over 40 years.
He took over. Actually, I knew this. Like so big. So Pat Sajak took over from Chuck Woolery, who was
I love Chuck Woolery.
Was he back from like the 80s?
He only did it. He only did it for like 1 or 2 years.
Was he the dating game?
Not the dating game. He did some.
No, Chuck Woolery did the.
That was Chuck Berry. Yeah, that was Chuck Berry.
Was it the dating game?
No, it was Chuck Berry or
something like
Berry.
that.
Yeah, something Berry. Yeah.
He was.
But here, I grew up watching the Wheel of Fortune with my grandma. When she in the summertime, we used to go over there, and I still remember when you had to pick out the prizes. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, when
the Dalmatian.
Yeah.
The ceramic Dalmatian was one of the prizes. So the stage turned around.
Yeah.
And there was prizes that would make it day to day. It would stay up there for weeks or if not months.
Bob, I'll take the pool cue for $100. Yeah.
Your money after each round. You picked what you.
I'll be honest. You know what? I like The Price is Right with Bob Barker back in the day. That was actually kind of fun. The Price is Right. That was kind of a cool show.
They came on after.
That was kind of a
Wheel
cool
Fortune.
show. Yeah. I mean, I don't like too many game shows, but or the Family Feud was kind of cool. But here's the thing: Pat Sajak, that guy's got like zero personality. You know what was fun? Richard Dawson from Family Feud back in the day.
Oh, he was great.
He was good.
Chuck Woolery did the that marriage show.
No, he did a dating thing.
No, it was with couples, like married couples. Like they had the guests.
No, that's a different guy.
Oh, by the way, there's this one show you probably don't remember it. It was actually pretty funny. It was like back in the 80s. Yeah, we'll talk about this some other time. But so it was called. You ever heard the show called Make Me Laugh?
Oh, I thought you
it was called Make Me Laugh. So it was basically a show. They would bring out a professional comic, and they would bring out whoever the contestant was, and within like a minute they had to make the person laugh. And if the person didn't laugh, the person would win an X amount of dollars.
I would lose that. I would have laughed. No, dude, I would have laughed.
Oh, you know what we need to have on a show? He'll come on a show.
Who?
Mark DiCarlo. From Studs.
No way.
He's a Chicago guy.
Who's he?
Studs. What's Studs?
I don't know what that is.
The movie, the game show Studs. You don't remember Studs from the 90s?
No.
Mark DiCarlo?
I don't know who that is.
What is it? What did he do?
He was a host.
Was it like a gay dating show?
He was a host of a game show called Studs.
Okay, I'm asking you, was it a gay dating show?
No, it was not a gay dating show.
Okay, we need to make it a gay dating show called Studs because now I feel like that's a moneymaker. Damn it, why do we say it out loud?
Well, it's already been done, but it wasn't a gay thing.
Let's make it a gay thing.
You want to make everything a gay thing.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Fine.
And you know who the first guy I went on there?
Who?
Take a guess. Ron
DeSantis.
We'll tell him it's chicks, and when it's guys and he doesn't complain, then we'll know.
So the fun thing, this is like a whole separate segment, but I was actually looking at professional comics who I actually think like people universally like love them as funny that I don't think are funny at all.
Who do you not think is funny?
Okay, I never thought Robin Williams was funny. I couldn't.
I cried.
Stupid question.
I can't understand the guy. He just like mumbles. He goes, and it's like that's just like stand up. I'm like, it's like reading Shakespeare. I can't follow anything he says. I can't understand anything he says. Pete Davidson from SNL.
Don't compare him to Robin Williams.
But I'm saying, he's supposed to be like a comic. I saw him. I'm just like.
I don't dislike him, but he's just not even close.
Funny.
I mean, Robin Williams was funny. He was a TV.
Yeah, I remember Mork and Mindy.
No, but that's just Ted's opinion.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying, but I'm saying like I saw him like in stand up. I'm just saying like,
who else do you think is not funny?
Kevin Hart. I don't think he's funny. I mean, like his stand up's not funny. I like his movies, but he's like over the top.
No.
He tries too hard.
I don't like him. He's too small. It bothers me. No, he physically bothers me. He's too small.
Yeah.
Yep. Don't like him. Don't like him at all.
Yeah.
Not a fan.
Yeah, guys who are like supposed to be funny but aren't really that funny. Like I know they're like universally loved as funny, but like I like him. There's a few movies I do like with him, but I don't. No. I saw stand up a couple times. I honestly I took an edible and I laugh at it. Trust me, you know how much I laugh. I laugh so much when I take an edible.
Concert?
I cannot believe that.
Who would you see in concert?
I've never seen anyone in concert.
I thought you said I saw somebody live in concert.
No, I mean on TV, Netflix, yeah. So, but the point
is, Ted doesn't go anywhere.
Ted
doesn't.
I laugh. I mean, so the funny thing, I was at Alpine Valley, and I took an edible before the draft.
Dude, we're taking you to Zanies. Let's take Ted to Zanies. Field trip.
So
edible field
only
trip.
If he's edible field trip.
And so here's the funny thing. So I took an edible, had a couple of drinks, and they were doing the draft, and there was a little tension out there because Matt, he didn't get selected right away. He was like the second from last pick.
I was a selector, by the way.
Was it 2 weeks ago? 3 weeks?
At
ago?
Alpine. Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
And then so like. I saw the team he ended up with, and then just for some reason I couldn't stop laughing because like it was like 4 guys I'd never seen him before.
Yeah, he did. He was.
I watched the whole thing. I know it was amazing.
I couldn't stop laughing.
Ted ended up on the winning team. He ended up on the winning team.
No, wait, Ted did not win.
No, he didn't win. We finished tied for like second or third.
Yeah, well, he was in the money. They finished second.
But
what? I don't recall that.
But
Ted's team
he finished
second.
third. I think he finished.
Yeah,
third.
yeah. But the point is, I mean, it was so silly, but I couldn't stop laughing. I mean, I was really
did.
crying.
He literally cried. He literally
Have you ever
laughed so
seen
hard
a
he cried.
stand-up, a really famous comedian in concert live?
Yeah, tons.
Okay, who?
Yeah. I just saw. Oh, who's that? 2 Bears, 1 Cave. It's Jack's favorite guy. I love the guy. Oh, Tom Segura.
Oh, I like Tom Segura.
Tom Segura.
Yeah, Tom Segura.
What do you think of Bill Burr?
I like Bill Burr.
Not a fan.
I saw Dice Clay in concert.
Yeah, so I saw him.
Just too much. I mean, he was good for like a small period, but then it's just too much. I mean, I get the cussing.
I saw Dice Clay in his prime.
Yeah, in his prime when he was filled the horizon.
Yeah, he was at the Rosemont Horizon.
Dave Chappelle. He's generally pretty.
Dave Chappelle's very
funny. Yeah, he's a good storyteller, but he's not like a cusser. That's what he's.
I do like that Tom Segura. I like him a lot, dude.
Oh my god! But his buddy that he does his little podcast with.
Yeah.
He actually made a movie.
Oh yeah, I
The
saw his
Machine.
podcast.
Yeah, The Machine. I can't think of his name. Jack knows these guys. I don't think he's funny at all.
Yeah.
I actually think here's the funny thing. They have a podcast. Tom Segura, who's
his friend.
very funny, and
I like
his friend,
his podcast. Yeah.
who's just really kind of looks like a drunk fuck up. But I told Jack, I said, I think we're funnier than they are.
Well, that's the thing about comedy. Comedy is very subjective. Comedy is very subjective.
He's a great storyteller.
Tom
Segura is a great teller.
He's a great storyteller.
Yeah.
No, I love it. I love it. I mean, I
that's what you got. I
off.
think that's what you got to be a big comic. You can't just tell jokes. You have to be a good storyteller.
Oh yeah,
you have good storyteller.
Well, that's the key. That's the key to the whole thing. Those guys that just do the one-liners and stuff, that doesn't last.
There's got to be something where, like, you know what the good comic does? They say something at the beginning of the show, you forget about it, then they tell this whole story, and then they go, and then like their punchline is the first thing they said in the show. It's like, it goes back to that. You know, they connect the dots.
You know who's good at that? Ricky Gervais.
Oh.
Yeah,
one of my favorites of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he pretty much can do anything. Stand up on stage and do it. It's like Steve Martin. To me, Steve Martin can stand up on stage, do anything at all.
Yeah,
and I'm going to laugh.
Yeah, isn't Joe Rogan like a comic too? He's like a professional comedian, right?
He's good. He's actually a professional douchebag. I don't like Joe Rogan.
I mean, he's funny.
Here's what
he's got to be good.
I don't dislike his stand up.
Have you listened to his show?
I don't really listen to his show.
I've
do not. Let me just make this clear. I do not. But I did listen because a guy I know is a big Joe Rogan podcast fan, and I actually don't have anything against Joe Rogan. I liked him. I've always liked him. I do like his stand-up, and I do like him on the UFC, and I think he adds a lot to it.
I always get him confused with Dana White. So Dana White is the president of the UFC, and then Joe Rogan was like an announcer. Yeah. But I always think they're like the same person for some reason.
They're actually similar because they're
very similar. They're like kind of bald.
No, they are. No, they're not both bald. I mean, they are both bald.
But I always conflate the two.
Yeah, no, I could see that because they kind of talk the same.
I mean, I mean, think about how many things. They're guys. They both have 2 arms. They both have 2 legs.
They got teeth.
Yeah.
They're famous. But so Joe Rogan on his show, I don't remember how long ago it was, so forgive me. I'm an idiot on the Real 3 Idiots podcast. So I'm listening to the show, and it's one story he talks about that he's like, did you hear about this owl's nest that they found with 75 cat collars in it?
An owl's nest with 75 cat collars.
Cat collars. He goes, it's a thing. These owls are out there at night hunting cats.
Good.
Which makes
Congratulations.
Sense. They're nocturnal, so that kind of makes sense.
I know.
I hate cats.
know. But think about this. One owl's nest, and he goes, so if your cat goes missing, that's probably what happened to it. And he's serious. He's going on and on about this. And I turn the show off, and the next day I go talk to my buddy. I go, dude, are you he's a moron. First of all, that doesn't make any sense in the world. Can an owl actually hunt a cat and kill it? Probably. Can one owl? I mean, I can't picture it happening.
Hold on a second. How big would this nest have to be to have physically have 75 cat collars in it?
What kind of an animal?
And what cat?
Do you understand?
I don't think I've ever seen a cat with a collar. How ever seen a cat with a collar?
That's another thing too. They weren't all strays. They're all from the same neighborhood. They all had collars on. And 75
the same woman. She just keeps buying a cat. And every week, the same owl kills her cat.
Yeah. I mean, first of all, it's
pretty rare to have a cat with a collar on it.
The odds of an owl, and maybe it was a great horned owl, but the odds of an owl actually being able.
Horned owl.
The odds of an
owl.
Not
even a real species.
Great horned owl. Yeah, great horned owl. So the odds of an owl actually successfully hunting and killing like a 7 or 8 pound cat is like slim to none.
I just think like a 15-pound cat.
Would this owl die if it didn't have cat?
And he's eating everything.
No, if everybody stopped buying
fucking
cats.
cat.
No, yeah.
All they're finding is the collar. And he's telling this story like it's real.
After a while, wouldn't you just buy a dog? I mean, look in this neighborhood, say it eats 75 cats.
What neighborhood has 75 cats outside?
Right? And then
this is Florida.
Just like, I bought 7 cats and they're all dead. And the woman next door is like, I did too. And they all talk about it, right? And they're like, I'm just buying a dog. Yeah. I mean, I bought Agnes. I bought some fish.
So I listened to a Joe Rogan podcast, and it was actually sort of amusing. He was talking about like the chimpanzee, the hairless chimpanzee with alopecia.
Don't.
And so
no.
So they had an MMA fighter on the show. They had an MMA fighter on the show, and so the MMA fighter was speculating that a trained fighter could beat a chimpanzee in a fight.
If you tell this fucking story, I swear to God, I will get up and commit murder on this goddamn podcast. Ted, everyone has heard this.
I would love to see that.
Everyone has heard this a million times.
You know how strong a chimpanzee is?
7.
Do you know what a chimpanzee would do? I mean, let's just say you even defang the chimpanzee. It would rip the strongest man in the world's arms off.
Oh, Jesus
watch this.
Christ.
Wasn't there
and beat him to death?
Wasn't there a woman that had a pet chimp?
No,
yeah.
don't.
Yeah, they were feeding a Xanax and wine. It was a 200-pound chimp.
Why are you doing this? This isn't good. Oh man, you're killing me. Okay,
I'm done.
Okay, all right. So, have you guys? I'm going to ask you one last thing. Have you guys ever called 911?
All the time.
I called 119 one time, and I got a pizza delivery.
Oh man,
not all the time, but
seriously,
yes, I've called more than a dozen times.
I've called the non-emergency number for the police.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
you've called 911
more than a dozen times.
Ted, have you ever dialed 911 in your life?
You know, I regret to admit it, but as a kid, I might have done it as a prank. But in real life, no, I've never called 911.
So I didn't think of that. Okay,
yeah,
I've never.
I'm sorry I did
not
that.
as a gag.
I'm sorry I did that.
Not as a gag. Yeah, I think we did that too.
But I've called the non-emergency number of the police a couple of times.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll give you an example of one time I called. And I probably called about a dozen times over the past 20 years. And I lived in my house. I got kids when they were younger. There was it was right before I came home from work. I had to go pick up the kids from school. My son was in kindergarten. The oldest was in 2nd grade. So I had to go pick them up.
No,
from
this
school.
makes sense. You called 911 to have them pick up your kid. Okay.
Isn't that what they're for? During the day. It's during the day.
No,
police officers don't do anything.
They're to serve and protect, not babysit.
No, stop. No,
serve.
So there was 2 guys pulled up in front of my house, and were just getting fucking all out, like blasted, like stoned.
Like in a car?
In a car. And school's getting, and I live 2 blocks from the school. School's getting out right now. And I'm going to leave my house and go pick up the kids. And these guys are out of their minds getting stoned for like 15 minutes. I watch them pull up, and I'm like, okay, I'm not going to do anything right now. And I watch them, and then they're throwing shit out the window, and they're getting high. I'm like, you know what, fuck this. So I'm like, it's not an emergency. I don't want to call 911. But so I call 311. They're like, sir, you got to dial 911.
Yeah, 311's like city services. 311's
911's a joke, man.
911 is not just for like dire emergencies. You call 911 whenever you think that you need a police officer or help. That's what it's there for. It's not. So
like if you get the wrong order at McDonald's.
I called 911. I said, listen, there's 2 guys in front of my house getting high. School's getting out in fucking 5 minutes, and they're driving around the neighborhood stoned out of their mind. And my neighborhood is 80% of the school are kids that are older than 4th grade being dismissed on their own and walking home.
It's like DUI, and plus if they take off and they hit a kid, so that's actually a good call.
Right.
Yeah.
So I called that was one time, and there was a couple other times that are very similar, all similar incidents to that.
Wow. So is it really cool?
I just called 911 2 weeks ago.
What?
Yeah. We were in the house.
No way.
Yeah, I swear to God. So I was, and my wife and my son, we were out in the yard. Listen,
I'm freaking out.
Yeah. So there was a guy. It was Memorial Day weekend. We were doing our gardening. We were all outside, and somebody is walking down my street, going crazy at like 2 p.m, screaming, "I'm gonna fucking kill you! I want my money! I want my money!" There's a guy walking around holding his cell phone out, screaming. He's jumping up and down, and he's walking down the block, and everyone's like, "What the fuck's going on?" He's screaming bloody murder. He walked down our block, all the way down. Came back again, and I'm like, again.
So he was just circling your block, screaming into his phone.
He was on his phone. He's oblivious to his surroundings because he's just on his phone. Apparently, somebody owed him money, and he's going to kill him.
Apparently,
a motherfucker.
He needed the money.
Apparently, a motherfucker owed him money.
He needed the money, and this and that, and he wasn't letting up. And I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm not going to go out there and confront him. I'll let.
No, of course not. He could have a gun.
So, when I called 911,
you could be the guy
I said,
that owed the money.
So I said, listen, I called 911. I said, there's a guy. He's walking down the street. He's screaming hysterically in his phone about money. And he's going to kill somebody, this and that. He's jumping up and down. She's like, does he appear to be intoxicated? I go, he doesn't look drunk. Does he seem to be on drugs? I'm like, you know what? He does not seem to be on drugs. He just seems to be very agitated and upset. Does he have a weapon? I go, I would say definitely not have a weapon because he's wearing shorts and a T-shirt.
Why didn't you just answer yes to
No,
any
because
of these
you know
questions?
why? I'll tell you why. Because I don't want the police to show up and think that there's a guy on drugs with a gun and he's not on drugs and he doesn't have a gun and he gets killed and it's my fault. I have no reason to believe he was on drugs. He didn't seem to be on drugs. I have no reason to believe he had a gun.
Why'd you call 911?
Because he was acting erratic, and I didn't want to confront him.
Actually, here's what I would have done. I'm like,
because I would have. I mean, I'm not the type of person to back down from a confrontation in a situation where I think it's a threat to me or my family.
That's funny because honestly, you've beaten up like 6 people for I would say very little reason. Many times that we've been.
Maybe we call the police on you. Call 911 on you. Maybe you're the guy who's been called on.
Okay, hold on.
All right, that's not true. So don't make me out to be a
monster. Here's what I would have done. I'd have been like, sir, how much money does this guy owe you? $25. Here you go. We're even. You're good.
No, so here's why
I turned the other cheek.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Here's why I ask because a guy called 911 on his 92-year-old neighbor.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
I think I heard about that.
Here's why.
Yeah.
Because she has a little pond in her backyard, and the frogs were really loud. So he called 911 so that the police would come over, and I don't know what to do. And it's not like they were her frogs; they were just frogs that happened to be in the pond in her yard.
We all know,
she's not raising frogs. It's just
she's not raising frogs.
You know how you silence a frog? Just get close to the pond. They stop.
I thought you were going to say cinnamon.
They jump in the water. They stop making noise.
I thought you were going to say cinnamon.
Does that kill frogs?
I don't know.
Yeah. So just pee in the pond.
I don't know about that.
Garlic.
Yeah.
Cinnamon.
Yeah.
If you lick a frog.
He called 911 because his neighbor had loud frogs. Now, this is what I don't understand, okay? I get this. So you pick it up like, yeah, 911, how can I help you? It's like, oh, my neighbor. It's like, oh, my God. She's 92. Oh, my God, is she dead? No. Is she trying to kill you? No. She's got really loud frogs in her backyard, and it's annoying to me. And if you're 911, how do you just not do this? Yeah, okay, asshole. And just hang up. The police went out.
You have to, because what if that guy goes over and takes matters in his own hands?
You're going to stop him? Like, if you stop him that day, he's not going to go, I don't know, kill the frog. I mean, what would happen? He's going to kill the frog? Oh, you're talking about killing her? Because of the frogs?
Maybe, yeah.
The frogs are still going to be making noise.
Well, no. Once he gets rid of her, he can get rid of the frogs.
Yes. He kills her. He kills her.
To get to the frogs.
And then he calls again on just the frogs.
So anyway, the police show up, and what happens?
You know what? We did not get a follow-up. Okay. All I know is an adult man called the police because there were frogs in his
I've never
yard.
called on my neighbors, but I did have one confrontation. But I spoke to him like a neighbor, you know.
Are you fighting everyone?
No, I'm not a fight. What do you mean? I'm not fighting anybody. I didn't tell one story about me fighting, Ted.
He's fighting.
You're making things up now.
No, it sounds like
I have my neighbor is he's a really big guy, real big. I mean, like
7 feet tall.
He's like 6'7", 300 pounds, and he's a good guy.
Well,
we get along with him. And no, he's very opinionated, and we have a 8-foot fence in our backyard. But I get along with them. I mean, whatever. Well, one day when we didn't have that big fence, the kids were all in the backyard. My nephews and my sons were back there, and they were younger. Like my oldest nephew at the time was like 8. They hit a ball, went over in his yard. Oh, and they're like, oh, went over in his yard. I'm like, oh, just go get it. Go around the front, go through his side gate, just go get it. And he's like, okay. And so my nephew doesn't know my neighbor.
Yeah.
My boys know the neighbor, so my oldest nephew went over to go get it, and he came back, and he was like all pale. I go, what happened?
Oh my God! Did he try to eat it?
I go, where's the ball? He's like, he wouldn't give it to me. I'm like, who wouldn't give it to you? He's like, your neighbor. I'm like, he was in the yard? He goes, no, he came out. I'm like, what do you mean he came out? He's like, he came out when I was going through the back gate. And he started yelling at me and said, what are you doing? You're trespassing. Blah, 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 blah. Get out of here.
You're trespassing. Think about that. What a weird thing that is to say to a child.
I know. And then so my nephew came back like shell-shocked. And I was like, you're kidding me, right? And he's like, no. So my wife's like, calm down. I'm like, no. I'm not going to, I'm going to, I'm not going to go over there. I'll call him. So I just went in the house and I called him. And I said, hey, did you just yell at my...
I mean, obviously you have his number, so obviously you must be...
Yeah, I got all my neighbors' numbers.
Oh, okay.
But I said, did you just yell at my nephew for going in the yard to get the ball and tell him that trespassing? Oh, he's like, I was just kidding, I was just kidding around. I'm like,
just kidding?
Yeah, he said, I go, he's 8 years old. He doesn't get that type of humor. He does not know you. You're a big man. You don't yell at a kid like that. I said, you don't do that. I'm like, if you have a problem or something like that, just talk to adults. We're all in the backyard. Tell me, don't yell at my nephew.
You seem so angry right now, doesn't he, Ted? Doesn't he? You seem very angry.
I was very angry at that time, but again, I'm not going to go in and punch anybody.
And then and then just to be clear,
but I didn't call 911. The point is, I didn't call 911 on my neighbor. I tried to talk to. I talked to. I couldn't.
Did you get the ball back?
Yeah, we got the ball.
Okay,
and your neighbor's house burned down because of a lightning strike.
No, dude, I wouldn't do that. And like I said, I get along with them. And that,
hey,
listen,
no,
you can have a disagreement with somebody
course,
and still get along with them. I mean, hey, when we put up that fence, fences make great neighbors.
Good fences make good neighbors. I only have the number to one of my neighbors. The guy who lives like right next to me. He's a really cool dude. So I mean, like if I'll be honest with you, I would trust the guy to come over to my house and like say feed.
Ted, he'd probably over at your house right now.
Probably, yeah.
Do you have your name? I have everybody within 5 houses of me. I have their numbers.
We got so many people in the neighborhood. Like, I mean, most of the people in my neighborhood now, I don't know them. I mean, there's been people there for years. I've seen them like randomly and never spoken to them. So
no, I would say good 5-6 neighbors, but that's about it.
Yeah.
We're not super.
Well, I'm not even there half the time.
But you know what the problem is? I'm not friendly. I have all the friends I want. Like we just
go around punching people.
No,
all the time.
we just met my daughter's
too, Ted.
We just met my daughter's fiance's parents.
We weren't going to talk about this.
None of them are going to listen. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Turns out.
But I was just thinking we're sitting there, we're talking with them and everything, and I'm just thinking this is great. I only have to see these people maybe twice a year for the rest of my life, and I realized I don't need any more friends. I pretty much have all the friends I want.
You know what? If you want a friend, buy a dog. Well, you're halfway. Never mind.
But you know what the problem was? It was so. Of course, Savannah and Andy are there, right? And they're super nervous because his parents.
You don't like people and you don't want new friends.
No. His parents and my wife and I we're diametrically opposed politically. Okay, we're diametrically opposed.
Okay.
We have completely different beliefs.
Okay, I don't know what that word means, but...
Okay, well, we have completely different beliefs.
No, political.
Okay? Yeah.
She's a little bit country, he's a little bit rock and roll.
Right, no, I get it.
No, and so it was just what it was. It was difficult to say just random things.
Just make small talk.
Right,
small talk.
Right. I realize now that
comment
Right. I realize now that I like hanging out with my friends because I can say anything I want, and they can say anything they want, and I really don't judge them because I know exactly how they really feel, right? And I know what they're joking about, and I know what they're not joking about, and I know when things are funny and not funny, and I don't have to worry about that. And it's to me, it's almost painful sometimes to talk to somebody because there's so many things I want to say that I think would be funny or whatever, and when they're serious about something that is really, to me, insane.
Well, the thing is, you have to work. Here's the funny thing. So, I think there's with a lot of people like what's important to somebody else might not be important to you. So a lot of people don't have that sense. They think that like if what's important to them is going to be important to you, and you might think it's a laugh. It's funny. So so that's why sometimes you got to be careful what you say around certain people because you don't know what they're really thinking. So,
but I will say this: you don't know them, you just met them.
Yeah,
it's much harder to start a relationship and be able to get to a point to where you can tell somebody that is completely different from you. Let's just say it is political. You have you're on two different ends of the spectrum politically. It's much harder for you to say, just shut the fuck up. I don't want to talk about this. Please don't go. Because I have cousins that are on the other polar opposite of me politically.
Right.
And they have the stickers on their water bottles and they say all this shit and they do all. And so when they start doing that, like over 4th of July, I'll just say like, Joey, shut the fuck up. We're not going to do this. I'm like, and he's like, oh, okay. And then we move on. I'm like, just don't go there.
No,
because I'm not going there. I don't bring anything up. I don't politicize anything. I don't give my opinion one way or another on anything. I just keep it. I mean, we're all here. So I'm like, you don't have to either. So just shut up. You can't do that to people you just met.
Yeah.
You don't have. Don't have to report.
But here's the thing too. Like, okay, as a normal, rational adult, let's say you meet somebody for the first time. I'm just spitballing. Let's just say you have the complete opposite belief system as them. Are they going to be that upset with you that you're just like what? You're like dead to them. You're like dead. You're like
going to be family.
You're like dead to them if you don't agree with them politically, or like I mean, are you? Or
That's
are
the point of marriage.
But I'm saying, are you that fragile mentally? Or if someone disagrees with you, that you're just going to turn into a puddle of piss and like curl up in a ball and in the fetal position.
Hold on, that's what I'm saying. We have friends that have diametrically different.
Yeah, that's cool.
Opinions.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay.
Yeah,
Jimmy and Don, completely different.
Yeah, sure.
Opinions than I do. But here's the beauty of it. He says what he wants to say. I say what he wants to say, and Mark is right. And when one of us gets to that point, the other guy just says, "Shut the fuck up, we're done."
Yeah.
And we move on to something completely different.
Yeah, because they're not. I mean, it's like almost an unconditional friendship. I don't want to use the word love, but I mean, you love friends, you love family, it's unconditional. I don't care if you're this way or that way. It doesn't affect me, and what I say or believe doesn't affect you because we're still
right. Because I know they're good guys. I know deep down inside, deep down inside, they've got my back. I got their back. Yeah. They believe in a little bit something different. I think that kind of makes it fun.
But it is hard to establish that.
Yeah, but here, so they come in, and this is the thing that freaked me out. So I think I told Teddy this. They bring stuff. My daughter says, "Oh, what do you want to bring?" Nobody wants to go to somebody's house without something, right? So they bring over stuff to make margaritas. But here's what they said the entire time. Andy's mom says, "Margs." I brought stuff from Margs. Who wants another Marg?
I never heard of that.
Yeah,
I never heard of that in my whole life.
And listen to me. After 10 minutes, I was having trouble dealing with this.
Well, maybe she has a hard time pronouncing margarita.
Dude,
it would be even better, Ted, if she said, "Who wants another margarita?" What if she said that?
I think I would have rather done
a margarito.
The Margs thing.
A margarito.
Dude, the Margs thing.
Honey, can you make 2 more margaritas?
How about who wants another Macarena?
That would be funny.
Who wants another Macarena?
No, that'd be funny. Like if you're talking normal, like, "Hey man, we're gonna have tacos. We're gonna have like this. We're gonna do rice and beans, and we're gonna have margaritas."
No, that would be annoying. I hate when white people do that.
It's like saying Svengoolie instead of Svengali.
I do. I hate when.
Well, I love it when my Spanish friends who speak perfectly normal Chicago English, but they also speak fluent Spanish, when they say like a name, they get like really ethnic when they say the name. I'm like, why did you just say it like that? Like, why didn't you say it like I say it, like you normally say it? I'm like, I think that's hilarious, but it's just like habit. That's how they say it.
Oh, yeah. No, that makes
But it's
sense.
funny. It's funny as hell when they say it. I laugh my ass off. Newscasters do that too when they pronounce their name.
Oh, yeah.
They're like talking like perfect Chicago English. Like their accent is Chicago, I should say, in English. And when they pronounce their name, they're like, "And this is Miguel Hernandez."
Yeah,
I'm like, that's hilarious.
I can't do the roll my tongue. I cannot do the roll my tongue.
I love it.
So
I love it.
And here's the thing. So they did that, and I was just like, whatever. And then at the end of the day, they tried to goad me into one thing. I told Teddy this, right? They said, his dad says,
they're swingers.
No. Oh, man. That would have been better. At one point, so Savannah says,
"Hey, it's a game the whole family can play, Ted."
Yeah. No, so at one point Savannah says, "Oh, we're going to Target," and then his dad says, "We're boycotting Target." And I know right where they're going with this. I know exactly where they're going with this. Target has girls swimsuits for guys.
Like a onesie.
Yeah,
supposedly.
like a one piece.
Okay.
Yeah. And I guess they're selling. People are upset. They're selling
to market to 0.000.1% of the population.
Right. And so he kind of brings it up, and I'm just like, and I've already had a bunch of drinks. It's a couple hours in.
So how did you not jump out of your skin and just attack everybody like a werewolf?
No, I just why? Because this is what I said to myself: 2 more times this year is all I have to see them. And then once a year.
So it's a quota.
Yeah, once a year
survive,
for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
So
once a year
said?
for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Matt said, "I can't boycott Target because I fucking work there, man." Okay, I work there.
No. Don't joke. I need a job.
You said you're boycotting Target because of this, and you bring out and you like tear off your clothes, and you're wearing one of those.
So Matt packs up the leftover Margs in a Target bag.
Fuck.
Here's your leftover Margs.
No, you got
in a Target bag.
You're wearing a onesie with Margs on them.
Dude, I'll tell you this right now. If you want me to kick your ass, and this is for everybody who's listening, if you want me to kick your ass, come and say the word Margs like 8 times to me.
Dude, you're gonna beat up another person after the show?
I would beat up a
after
nun.
Every show you beat up people.
You're like
there was a nun.
You're like
Lyle
Lozado.
You're like a Lyle Lozado.
after not cycling off of steroids, you're just going crazy.
Oh, that poor
Dude, you're
guy.
like Al Pacino from.
It was so. I don't know why. And I tried to go in there very positive, but they'd canceled on us like 5 times. So when we finally met,
so there's a reason, yeah.
So
there's a big build up to see these people. So you've never seen them in your life.
Like you were Target. Now you know how Target.
No, I'm saying so it's funny.
So boycotted you.
So you've never seen a photo of them. You've never seen them.
Why would I ask? Why would I ask my soon-to-be son-in-law
right,
to see a picture? Hey, show me a picture of your mom. Yeah.
Let me see some pictures.
But I'm saying you're
Hey, whoa. You got anything like in her bathing suit or something?
I'm saying you're aware of them, but you've never seen them. So it's weird. Like when you hear about somebody, like for example, I'll talk to clients all the time. I hear their voice, but they're in different states. I've never seen them ever. So it's just weird, like how you visualize what somebody might look like just based on what they sound, even though you've never spoken to them. So like maybe you have like a visual. So like when you actually see them, it's like, are they like a lot older than you thought? Are they like about your age?
They see, you know what? Physically, they were exactly what I thought.
Do they look like normal?
Ted.
What they were who you thought they were?
Did they match their Tinder profile?
The Grindr profile?
Grindr. Yeah.
No, it was just really weird to me, and then and that was when I really thought about it. So they leave. I go upstairs. I'm like, I'm going to bed.
So they were like normal people, right? They look like normal
of course
people.
Normal people. Yes. Yeah. But all I could
think
about
they're big feet.
I call it. What's the name?
Wearing overalls and suspenders.
No, that's when I thought
Harry and the Hendersons came over.
As I'm laying in bed, falling asleep, I just thought, I don't want any more friends. God, I don't want any more friends.
You know what I want?
If I thought like that, I would have never been on this show.
Actually, you know what I want? I want female acquaintances. That's what I want. That's what I want. I don't want friends. I want female acquaintances and associates. Associates and acquaintances.
I want the JJ company.
Holy
associates
shit.
and acquaintances.
All right, we got to stop. No, I just think I don't want to have to.
I'm going to say every virgin.
No, don't. You're not saying
Virginia.
No more vagina words.
Yeah.
No, I just thought of that. It's just a weird thing.
No more hoo-ha talk, Mark. No more hoo-ha talk. All right.
Hoo-ha's a good one.
No hoo-ha.
I love hoo-ha. Okay. All right, Teddy. Jeez.
The word.
I love it. The word of the day is hoo-ha. All right.
The password is cooter.
Cooter 69.
Hey, could you see it? Hoo-ha. Cooter. Damn, you're good.
Hoo-ha 69. Exclamation point.
Ted.
Yeah.
No more drinking.
I'm done.
You're done drinking. Okay, let's put this thing to bed. Mark, you get to go first. Last thoughts.
I'm going to say... Oh, wow.
What? Oh, so go ahead, Mark.
I'm not going to pass.
I pass.
I'm going to say, don't take matters into your own hands. Don't be afraid to call 911.
Or 119.
And don't be afraid to talk things out if there's somebody you know, like your neighbor. Their frogs are barking.
Frogs are croaking.
Or chirping. Or chirping or whistling.
Croaking.
Or maybe your pet owl has murdered most of your neighbors.
Were there 75 cat collars in that pond, by the way?
75 cat collars.
And call 911 in
Joe
that case.
Rogan's the same guy who had a guy on who said that the East River was filled with mammoth bones.
Yeah. Oh, that's just that you did tell
like
that story.
Like a tar pit, like a Cabrerian tar pit.
Hook, line, and sinker. He ran with it for half an hour talking about it, right?
Yeah.
Like it was a real thing.
Yeah. The East River. So guys, the Chicago River. Let's see, not mammoth. Was saber-tooth tiger bones. Yeah. So just get out there.
Mobsters.
Yeah, and I'll get an expert on that'll say that. Okay. Yeah. So your last thought is just talk it out.
Or call 911.
Or call 911.
Or hug it out.
No, I'm saying don't take matters in your own hands. If don't put yourself in harm's way, call 911. Don't be afraid to. That's what it's there for. Or if it's an acquaintance or somebody that you know, don't be afraid to talk it out. You don't have to call 911 on your neighbors. If their frogs are whistling.
Okay.
Or croaking.
Chirping.
911, what's your emergency?
It's not a
my neighbor hasn't mowed his lawn in
Mark, it's not a humming. It's not a hummingbird. It's not chirping.
In other words, 911 is not a joke in your town.
No. I just listened to that song yesterday.
Easy E, yeah.
Working out. No. Flavor Flav.
Oh, Flavor Flav.
Public Enemy. Public Enemy.
Yeah. All right, Teddy, last thoughts.
I enjoyed our banter today, guys, and I was going to bring up... Why is it always so funny? Why are you always, laughing?
Say ridiculous things like, you know what, I really enjoyed our back-and-forth bucklinage.
Actually, don't sound like that, but that's a gross exaggeration what I said, but I appreciate what you're doing.
I'm sorry, whatever
Spot on.
This is my Ted voice, and this is my woman voice.
Wait, is that... Do you just suck in helium or is someone squeezing your ball sack?
No, that's what you sound like to me, Ted. Okay. Yeah.
I sound like I'm like Marge Simpson.
Do you want to hear my mad imitation?
Or I'm like, you know what you sound like to me? Like,
no.
Remember the adult and Charlie Brown when they go wah 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 wah? That's I've never heard anything you've said, even up to right now.
Well, we know that. That's not news.
Anyway, so I was gonna suggest for future reference, we should have some new categories on the show. So my category, and I think we've talked about this before, what happens when important people die?
How's that?
Yeah, you brought that up.
That's a category?
Yeah, for future reference. Yeah, and not people who are already dead, but people who are currently alive. And if they happen to die, how many people would shit all over themselves because this person who you, by the way, you've never met him in person, but because they're kind of world famous and you hear about him every day in the news, if they suddenly died, how would we react as a general public?
Okay, this is awesome. So for next week,
I would be.
So for next week, Ted, the first thing we're going to talk about
is who I killed by mentioning him on the show.
Yeah, but
who died after I talked about him?
Yeah. So after we get Murder Mouth here.
Okay. So wait. Mention somebody right now, and let's see if they're alive next week.
Man Cow.
Okay. Now, if Man Cow dies in some tragic, I
don't even know where he lives. How am I going to do that?
Some tragic butt sex, sexual asphyxiation accident.
Ted,
we'll know.
It doesn't have to be everybody doesn't die from butt sex, Ted. I know you think that that's how everyone dies.
Man Cow's anal flange. Man Cow's anal insertion.
Ted. Yeah. Okay. So Ted's last thoughts are done. Yeah. Ted's last thoughts have ended. All right.
Thank you.
So here's what I will say. I do like it when we get together and just randomly talk about stupid shit. That's really good. Next week we will have the president of the Greater Idaho Movement coming on. Okay. Yeah. So that should be awesome. I have been talking to
Utah.
I've been talking to a lot of very unique people. I'm got us, if everything goes right, an expert on cults. Yeah, an expert on cults.
Nice.
Yeah.
Like there's different. Is there like just one type of cult or different cults? I mean, there's got to be.
Teddy, I have no idea. So but I want to know. Here's the way I pitched it was. I want to know how does somebody fall into the trap of the cult, and not even that, but how do you start a cult?
Well, I want to start a cult. Well, that's a good premise. So I think the whole premise of the cult, without even looking up the definition, is just somebody who, let's just say, there's a charismatic figure out there. I probably said that wrong. Charismatic figure who starts whatever belief system that like Scientology, it's just made up, right? Dianetics, Scientology, they just make some shit up, and then somebody obviously buys into it, hook, line, and sinker, where they basically devote their whole life to this thing, this guru, this Svengoolie.
Right.
Like Jim Jones Guyana, David Koresh Waco.
See, and that's what we're going to talk
Heaven's
about.
Gate. Yeah, okay.
So it's super. I'm super excited with this. So we got some really cool things coming up, and a couple of things that I got on the back burner. So I'm pretty excited about it. All right. Yeah. So hey, thanks for listening. I know it was a great long show. Hopefully you listened in 2 episodes, and if not, you're probably like banging your head against the wall as one. We love all you guys. Listen up. Get on all social media. Do all that stuff. Visit our website, voteforted.com or thereal3idiots.com. 3 of the number 3. And you know what? We will see everybody next week.